Hello and welcome back to RLPC playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We have some bangers for you tonight. This should be a really good night of games. We have three fantastic lower semifinal games, and I'm joined by the one and only Raid. How are you, sir?
I am doing excellent. Being an independent, I know a lot about these teams, and I expect this to be an absolute banger of a match between the Galaxy and the Scorpions here. Both teams had some commanding victories to get to this point, right? So we have the Galaxy who 4-1 both of their two matches to get here, and then we have the Scorpions who 4-0'd the Wildcats before defeating the Rhinos, who were widely considered a top three team in Indy. So both these teams really proved their place, and it'll be interesting to see which one will take this pivotal series.
Yeah, that is for sure, especially considering that the Galaxy and Scorpions both started in the lower bracket. Now they find themselves fighting for a top three position in the entire league. And like you said, the Rhinos were a team that was looking to take that spot and just kind of didn't end up winning against the Scorpions. Unfortunately, they go 0-2 in the playoffs, losing to the Wizards in a hot 4-0 sweep, and then losing in a pivotal Game 7 to the Scorpions, who find themselves here up against a Galaxy team who's been remarkably consistent. But we'll see who can move on tonight. And with that, let's take a quick look at the bracket we got for you here. The Wizards, with that 4 over the Rhinos, sent them down to play the Scorpions, who, of course, won in 7 games. Beavers ended up losing to the Centurions in the upper bracket and then dropped down to lowers, where they were beaten by the Galaxy as well. That's how the Galaxy have found themselves in this position, and it's going to be interesting to see who can move on and face a the Centurions in that lower bracket final.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, like, the way this bracket has worked out, really, right? The Centurions, they obviously won their first match and then they got absolutely smoked by the Wizards. And now they find themselves with a full game day off. And then they have to play whatever team comes out of this. And whatever team they play has won 3 straight. So they'll have momentum. And we'll see if the Centurions can really match that, because these lower bracket teams are going to be out for blood come Thursday.
They absolutely are, and definitely a bit of a redemption here for the Centurions on the horizon on Thursday. But speaking of that upper bracket finals, Wizards with that 4-0 once again still have not dropped a single game in this playoffs and look like an absolutely dominant force, and now also have that 1-game advantage when we get to the finals as well. So going to be interesting to see who can try and compete with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, looking at the Wizards, people knew they were a good team in the regular season, but I did not think they would get all the way to the grand finals without even dropping a single game. That is just humiliation. I didn't think they had the ability to sweep the Rhinos. I thought the Rhinos were at least going to take a game, but clearly that didn't happen. And then they walked right over Centurions, who took my team out in the Beavers, and now they're sitting pretty in the upper bracket, waiting for this lower bracket to complete. And then they're going to play a team that, like, either a team they've beaten, or they'll actually not a team. There's a chance they play a team they beat in the Centurions, or they play a team that started in the lowers, which will be really, really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's interesting to note also that in that first round, both teams who dropped down from the upper bracket getting promptly eliminated by both the Scorpions and Galaxy. So no of the top 4 teams, the division winners, going to be in the games tonight, besides the Centurions and Wizards, who will be playing on Thursday and at some point next week as well. So these teams, a little bit of underdogs coming into this, having been wildcard teams. So it's going to be interesting to see what these two teams can do in the bracket.
Yeah, and as we're talking, it seems like both teams have loaded into the lobby here, so we will be quick to commence shortly here. But before we do that, let's get some predictions here of how we expect this game to go. I personally am going to predict that I think Galaxy take this 4-2. I think arguably they've been the hotter of the two teams, but this could go either way.
It very well could, and just to kind of prove that point, I'm going to say Scorpions go to another Game 7, and they clutch up once again. I'm gonna take Scorps in 7, but I think this series, like you mentioned before, I'd be surprised if it didn't go a fair distance to 6 or 7 for sure. So we will see who's got the ice today to try and match up against the Centurions next week. But we are ready to go. So let's get this game started. Players joining the field, and the game just about ready to go. Galaxy, Scorpions, here we go. Ooh, Dank bumped right off that kickoff. That's kind of crucial right away here, given the possession to the Galaxy. Good save. Bump again on the Jinja. What a recovery by saving that flip. Able to get a 50. A little bit dangerous here. Scorps with the shot. That's a good save by Gio. He's going to fire it down the field. Little dump and chase action. Looking for a teammate. Center can't quite pop it over to the defender, and Soggy going to clear this one down. Jinja in the corner. 50s very well to get that banger of a clear. Gio going to chase this one down in the corner for the Galaxy. Scorps trying to get it back out. Lots of boom ball here in the first 40 seconds or so. Back and forth. No team really able to hold possession so far here, Raid.
Absolutely. It really has been kind of both teams kind of feeling each other out. No super high quality chances for either side here, as both are really just trying to see what'll work. As a little bit of momentum here coming for the side of the Scorpions, but then again, there really hasn't been a shot yet.
Well, and that whiff going to be tough off the crossbar. Soggy looking for the double to get the thing started here. And he doesn't find it, unfortunately. It's going to go off that crossbar and just wide. Maury's got control here for the Scorpions, finally. A little bit of possession held there for the Scorpions, but Galaxy quick to clear it out once again. They have possession here. Muskrat, dangerous play on the solo. Not sure what happened to Dank in net, as that one's right by him, and the Galaxy have a lead.
Yeah, missed touch by Soggy. He doesn't create it off the ceiling, and Dank is caught mid-net, no momentum, and Musk just says, I'm going to put this right behind you and make it impossible here, and despite the momentum arguably being sided with the Scorpions, the Galaxy take a 1-0 lead.
Beautiful little play from Musk. The angles working out for him there as Dank caught flat-footed. Now the Scorpions find themselves in a hole early. They add the clutch factor against the Rhinos. Will they have it here today? The clear downfield is in the net, and Dank makes up for his mistake.
Yeah, a bit of over-aggression here on the side of the Galaxy. They were all pushed past midfield. Nobody challenged that ball, and Dank's like, okay, I'm just going to clear it, and a simple clear that doesn't look super threatening is enough to score, and we're all tied up here with just over 3 minutes to play.
If you're Galaxy, you got to really want that one back even already. Nothing necessarily bad has happened because of it just yet, but still not one you want to let in. As they're going to try and make something happen on this offense. Good 50 by Jinja. Dank's going to clear that one out. Musk keeping the possession alive here for Galaxy. Maury gets the touchdown middle. Jinja has to turn all the way around, but going to be able to keep it here. Galaxy looking to get out. So I'm going to be off the backboard. Double tap imminent, possibly, but good clear by Dank, and the Scorpion's going to be first to that one. Musk cutting it off at midfield, though. Going to push it back into this left corner. The pop-up high over the backboard. Does he have a teammate there? No. Jinja, after the bounce, gets a touch, but would have needed a second, unable to get it. Bad clear into the corner. This one's center. Musk there. Good 50 by Scorpion's defender. This is double commit, though. Dank can't get to the ball either. Galaxy have a opportunity here still. Jinja with the 50, and finally the Scorpions going to relieve some pressure, but they clear it right into Jinja, and the Galaxy still on offense. The Scorpions getting smothered. The demo's in,
no.
But Gio saves the shot from his teammate.
Oh, that's brutal. Wide open net, but saving your own teammate's shot. Unfortunate from Gio here as he tries to retain the possession. He does so here as it continues to be the back foot for the Scorpions. Follow up by Ginja, but he can't put it on. What a sequence here.
The Galaxy are putting on all the pressure, but they have not found a hole in this Scorpions defense just yet. At points, it looked like Swiss cheese, but instead, it was a solid block of cheddar. And now, the Scorpions going to try and find something the other way. Center, and this one's cleared out by Gio, and they're going to get a goal here as well. A long clear by Gio makes up for his mistake as well.
all that pressure for the Galaxy, and it's just a simple counterattack that is enough for them to score. And now with a minute 25 left, the Galaxy finally get that goal they've been fighting for the last couple of minutes here. And if you're the Scorpions, you need to turn this momentum a little bit.
You absolutely do. You got your goal off a mistake, and they got theirs off of one as well. The difference maker, the quote-unquote real goal that the Galaxy were able to score early. And now the Scorpions are going to have to try and make some of their own luck. My goodness, Dank with the tip. Almost catching the defense out. A good little change in direction there. Up the wall. Soggy looking for the center. Not going to find it. Mori trying to get it off that wall center, but the bang is not hard enough. Dank with the touch. Soggy gets 50, and Gio sends this one back out to mid. Cut off by Mori. Jinja waiting patiently back. Is Dank going to clear it out? He's there. The center is not going to be gone on by Gio, but he'll go on that one. Tried to push it through the corner once again, but stopped. As Musk clears this across the field. Dank going to be on it quickly. Gio waiting very patiently. Gets a good 50 on that. Going to need some help from his teammate. Good 50 by the Scorpions, though. The shot going to be blocked. It's on net. Gio waiting in net. Good rotation there. Able to cover the shot. The demo in from Gio once again. Can they make something of this possession while they got a 2-on-3? Dank has an opportunity on the wall. They have to score here. The good fake, but he can't catch it. And it stays on the ground as the clock hits 0. The Galaxy take game 1.
Can I just say what a crazy, eventful game 1 that was. Both teams had their chances. So much possession. So much, honestly, just panic from both sides. Like, for all the opportunities, very few were actually scored. And if these teams can settle in, this could be one really crazy series here. And honestly, at the end there, I thought Dank had an opportunity, but he just could not connect on that catch. And now the Scorpions, despite their opportunities, go into game 2 with a 1-0 deficit.
Those opportunities. Jeez, I can't speak today, apparently. The opportunities for the Scorpions tallied at 9 as well. Great shots coming into them all game. They had a ton of possession throughout that one as well, but in the end, only one goes in the net, and I think the more important part was there was only 5 saves made by the Galaxy, meaning that there's 3 unaccounted shots there, and you can't be missing the target like that on those shots, not forcing those saves out of the defense. As we head down under in the Aquadome for game number 2. And it's really going to be up to the Scorpions to kind of change the tides of things here.
Absolutely it is. The Scorpions, they had their chances, but there was a few sequences in that game number 1 where they got caught. And you cannot get caught defensively against the Galaxy. I learned this in my series against them, so we will see how they answer here as game number 2 begins.
Ooh, passing on point for the Scorpions right off the bat. Gio able to get a 50. Dank up on this one off the wall. Gets a touch. It's going to go out. Center. Soggy tips it up into the corner. Center. Shot coming on. Good save. Right as that shot was getting started, it was stopped. Muskrat pops that down. Good block by Soggy on the wall. He has a follow-up touch. That's beautiful off the wall from Soggy.
Yeah, what a play from Soggy. Reads Musk's hit, follows it up, sees that Ginja is awkward, and comes down and gets that touch as he's falling to beat out the last defender. It also looked like there was a demo chase coming out. I believe that was Dank. And overall, just an excellent play from the Scorpions here. And they have the first icebreaker with 35 seconds into the game.
They have struck once. Can they do it again? Take the first multi-goal lead this series we'll have seen. So far, no, but the possession's still good. Up on the wall, Muskrat ready, waiting. Drops down to Jinja. 50 from Gio. The pinch, my goodness, from Musk. Up in the air, 2 Galaxy members across the net. Jinja up over the bar. Gio waiting. Good save. There's a double commit from the Scorpions, though. Are they going to be able to clear it out? They do. Good chase by Dank. He wins that 52 out center. Beautiful place by Dank, but Mori can't get the shot on target. Oh, a beautiful play from Dank to get by 2 defenders clean out center. And Mori just misses the net.
Yeah, a really pivotal mistake. Another miss by the Scorpions. That's 2 open net opportunities that they were unable to convert on. And it remains just a 1-0 lead here as we approach the 3-minute mark of this game.
Oh, man. You absolutely want both of those back. You know players at this level easily score those 95+% of the time. And that's 2 D20s in a row that have got nat 1s. Unfortunate there. Critical failures that they're going to want back at the end of this game.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting if the Galaxy can answer, and if that ends up being those 2 being deciding goals that could have given the Scorpions an edge here. But it remains the lead does remain with Scorpions here as we approach the halfway mark.
The thing you really got to worry... Oh, that's double commit. Muskrat over the bar. He's going to have support. Jinja with the touch. That goes in, and this game is tied. Not what the Scorpions wanted at all. A double commit on that first ball left it wide open. Jinja just had to beat one flailing defender, and he does. And this game, at exactly the halfway point, is tied back up. And man, what could have been for the Scorpions there. And I think, Ray, one of the things you really have to worry about if you're the Scorpions is where is that mental going to be if you end up losing this game with the chances that were squandered there?
I honestly, I can't speak to what the mental is like on the side of the Scorpions, but they really need to take this game because I don't know a team that can come back from 2 open net misses down 2-0 in a series and keep that mental perfect here. But in their defense, the game is still tied, right? Well, a team does need to score for this game to be completed, and if the Scorpions can get a goal here, they can really bring the momentum back in their favor.
I mean, they literally have score in their name, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to do it again. To be fair as well, they did only score once in that first game. Muskrat going for the demo, not going to get it though. Mori gets the long clear out, but... Oh, the 50 is huge! Double tap off the wall, leaves it for a teammate, but doesn't have anything to commit on that. And the Galaxy going to get back out very quickly here. Maybe catching him off guard. A bump is there from Musk. Onto Soggy, who I think just tried to get in the way. Did so successfully, but wasn't really able to get shots going. Geo gets a bump. Muskrat with it on the back line. Good bump. Jinja bumped as well as this one's going to get back out. Touch from Jinja, I don't think he was expecting. This one's going to be crossed. Geo waiting. Jinja going to chase this one in the corner instead. Geo waiting center. Jinja has a great play. Good shot on, but a better 50 from the goaltender. Keeps it out. 45 left to play. Soggy off the wall. Double commit from the Galaxy defense. Soggy's got possession. Can't flick it over Geo. And now the Galaxy try and get something on the return. Still tied. 30 seconds left. Popped up. Soggy trying to find Dank. Puts it a little bit too far in front, and Jinja intercepts the pass. Gonna get one of his own center here. Muskrat has a man awkward in net. Shot on. Great save by Mori. Geo sends this one back. Dank can't get onto it. Doesn't need to. Scorpions send it all the way down. Jinja gonna try and clear it out, but this one's still dangerous for the Galaxy as they get by the last man of Dank. Mori gonna have to rush back. Awkward on ball side. This one hovering in front of the net. Still a chance. Soggy misses, and that's going to be an unfortunate whiff, but at the same time, a bit of a fortunate one as it hits the ground. And we go to overtime here in Game 2.
Wow, the amount of opportunities squandered by both sides is absolutely insane, as it's still just a 1-1 game, as it's an open net for Stog if he can get there, but he cannot. Another squandered opportunity by these teams here, as it remains a 1-1 scoreline as we approach the 30-second mark of OT here. Wow.
Jinja taking control. 50 by Soggy, and the Scorpion's going to look to turn this into some offense. Geo says no thank you, and that's just in! Oh no! All the way down the field, a clear, and the Galaxy win Game 2.
Yeah, so your previous question of if they lose it, what will their mental be like? Now we're going to get to see that here as Heartbreak for the Scorpions here in game number 2 here. A game that really, if we're looking at opportunities, the Scorpions should have taken, but yet they were unsuccessful here. And now, going into game 3, they're in a 2-goal hole.
They are. That 2-game hole that they've found themselves in going to be hard to dig out of at this point, especially considering the mental and where they could be at after those open net misses. And is that going to be something that we are going to get an answer to in terms of gameplay and not just questions without answers? So it'll be interesting to see where the Scorpions can go, if they can strike back here in game number 3. We will have to see.
Yeah, and if you have to think, right, this game 3, if the Scorpions manage to lose it, like, there's only been a handful of playoff reverse sweeps in the history of RLPC. I think like 2.
I mean, we saw one the other week, I believe. Pelicans getting reverse swept by Cougars, of which we'll get a follow-up game this week. The Cougars play the Embers at 10 p.m. Stay tuned for that one later. But yeah, that one of the first I've ever seen in my time. And yeah, reverse sweep going to be really hard. So they really have to win this game, and realistically, they also have to win game 4 on the fated Utopia Coliseum. We'll see if they can find their happy place.
Absolutely. Losing any of these next 2 would really put them in a bad spot here, as Ginja trying to set the tone early with a grab pass out to Geo, but a nice save coming out from Soggy here. Already momentum sided with the Galaxy, but we'll see, because counterattacks were their enemy when they got scored on in game 1.
We'll see if we can get that counterattack problem solved, but the tips maybe on target. It's over the bar. Soggy with a crucial touch. Mori and Soggy trying to make a play up the left side. Gonna end up firing it over across field. Taken by Jinja and the Galaxy. Gonna have a little bit of possession. Dank with the 50 in the corner. Scorpions have control. Upward camera angle. But the Scorpions gonna toss this one down. In the corner. Geo pops it over one. Dank with it in the corner. Gets it by another. But with a man in the net, the third Scorpion not comfortable committing, and understandable. Dank, 50s at center. Geo there, beats Soggy, and the tip-off. Soggy gonna make it go in the net, and the Galaxy score first.
Yeah, you can see Soggy trying to get up to contest this shot, but he can't quite. And the little bit he does get actually adds to the power, and the Galaxy, in this very important game number 3, have that lead just over a minute in.
That extremely unfortunate. We'll see if the Scorpions can come back with some offense of their own. Off the wall, Jinja sends it down. Mori off the wall. Try and keep control here. 50 off of Muskrat. Gonna have some help. Soggy with a fortunate second touch on that. Cleared back out to center. Muskrat pops it down. That's a really awkward shot, but it's off target, unfortunately, over the net. Good pass. Dank with the shot. He scores. Top shelf. Scorpions tie it back up.
Yeah, it seemed like the Galaxy were caught kind of handcuffed. Low boost, not really challenging. And Dank's like, you're going to give me that space, I'm just going to shoot it upper 90. And nobody on the Galaxy with any shot at getting there. And as we approach that 3-minute mark in game number 3, we're all tied up.
Oh, what a 50 by Geo. No help, but a double commit from the Galaxy. Soggy, the last man back, has to get a clear. Does. Center is nice, though, from Geo. Cleared back out. Jinja with the shot going to be wide. Clear going to be in from Soggy off to the side. Wally's going to have a little bit of possession. Dank center as well. Cleared out. Left alone. The pop-up is there. Muskrat reads it nicely. That's on target. Double commit from the Scorpions. Soggy bangs this one out. Scorpions desperate for a clear. Going to get one here. The 50. He is good. Dank. Time, space. Puts it off the backboard as a pass, but it's read by Jinja. He's going to try and chase it down. Chase that demo as well. Going to find neither. Muskrat goes to the center. Gets it. Dank waiting. And even if Geo had gotten there, I think he would have had that save. The demo comes in. Cross the face of the net. Nobody expecting that pass from Jinja. And the Scorpions get away with one there.
Absolutely they do. This is like a lot of opportunities here as Ginja's up trying to drop that one on target, but 2 players in the net were able to make that stop, but Musk is still up. Looking to get that on target. Geo gets it on, but a nice save coming out. A bit of a panicky sequence from the Scorpions, but they managed to hold still and keep the game all square. But Musk trying to get a counterattack, but just a really hectic sequence, and neither team able to put that pivotal goal in.
My goodness, that was a very close counterattack. Scorpions doing well to get that offense going. Going to be up over the backboard here for them. And one other thing the Galaxy did well on their last possession was keep that ball up in the air when they knew the Scorpions were out of boost. Making sure that they were the ones who were going to have the advantage in any challenge created. Oh, beautiful touch by Mori. Dank trying to get the 50 center. Soggy not able to commit on it, though. Muskrat going off the ceiling, not going to get anything. This one flies right over the net. Jinja looking for the read, gets it, but this one's out center. Scorpions read that play well. Soggy going to read the wall clear. Jinja gets it over one. Mori still holding possession for the Scorpions, though, but finally a bang comes out here.
Yeah, great pressure coming out from both sides. Like, when they get the ball deep in the zone,
what a shot!
It's usually enough, but a beautiful touch by Ginja to pot that one through. What a play. Musk down to Ginja from, like, negative angle, and he puts it through. And now the lead is in favor of the Galaxy with just under a minute to play as they look to take a stranglehold on the series here.
The zero angle shot is perfect. And Scorpions need to score more than a single goal for the first time in this series. And they got 45 seconds to do it. Shot up. Great save coming out from the defense. If the Galaxy win this, they'll win every single game in this series so far, 2-1. Soggy to pop up, looking to clear it. Sent down to Dank. Great pass shot, just wide. Do they have a rebound? Popped up by Mori, but it's an easy clear. And now the Galaxy going to try and get a counter-attack. Great touch. Keeping it in the blue half. You absolutely need to if you're the Scorpions. Pop going to be over the bar. Musk gets it. Finds some space. Dank with the catch. Gets a touch. Needs a second. Center. Soggy for Mori. That's an all-in play from the Scorpions that fails. They get a fortunate bounce up off the wall, though. Dank sends it center. The touch from Mori is no good. And that's going to hit the ground. Galaxy take a third game in a row, 2-1.
Yeah, the 2-1 is just going to be, like, burned in the heads of the Scorpions if they continue to lose every game this way. They keep getting their opportunities, but they're just not getting more than one through a game. And it's hard to win if you're only scoring a single goal. And if I'm the Scorpions, I'm just super concerned at this point, and I would be shocked if their mental wasn't down the toilet already.
We will see. I mean, that game, Galaxy absolutely dominant. 12 shots to the 4 of the Scorpions. Just another worldly performance. And now the Scorpions going to try and fight back. It's interesting because I feel like every game has been fairly different in terms of what teams had pressure and who's gotten their chances and who has not, and who's made the most of those chances and who has not. But the one consistent thing has always been the score line, whether it's OT or regulation. Galaxy always seem to have that one goal edge. As we head to the wonderful Utopia Coliseum here for what could be the last game of this series. Could have a very hot 4-0 off the rip.
Yeah, we shall see here. As like really, as you were saying, there's not much consistent between these games, but I will say the inability for the Scorpions to pot their opportunities has been the most consistent issue for them, and we will see if that'll change here in game number 4.
Uh-oh. 1-on-1. Jinja loses that one, and it's back into the blue end right away. 10 seconds in, some playtime seen in both ends so far. Dank. Oh, with the beautiful 50, doesn't really have any support from his teammates, so good cut by Musk. Looking for another one. Soggy pops it up over the bar. Mori with the tap. Dank. Shot on, and it's going to be in. The Scorpions strike first. They get their customary 1 goal. We'll see if they can get some more.
Great three-man passing play, right? Because Soggy pops that up, Mori follows, and then Dank finishes. And they were doing something that they're struggled to do all series, is potting that final shot there, and Dank made no mistake here. And I think, is this the first time in the series that the Scorpions have had a lead?
I believe they had a lead on Aquadome game 2. And then
Okay.
Galaxy came back twice, but I'm still waiting to see. Oh, okay. Do we call that known goal?
It's hard to say. I think Musk had this on target here, and Dank just didn't quite get there in time. I don't think that was getting saved either way, but unless Mori was able to get a touch, which he seemed a little too far back for it. But now that lead that I was talking about has been all squared up here, and this has remained pretty consistent to how the other games have gone.
It has. The Scorpions never really able to hold much of a lead in this series. This one's center. Good, clear by Jinja. Big catch, but Muskrat gets a shot off. Good save. Gio's turn now on the ball. Off the backboard. That one's going to be centered. Cleared way out. The pinch going to be very nice for the Scorpions. Musk gets a pop. Open net shot. Ooh, Jinja coming out of nowhere. Good save. The demo in the back post by Dank is gorgeous. And Mori finally scores a second goal for the Scorpions.
Yeah, a nice comeback save for Ginja here, but it was just not enough as it bounces back out middle. Beautiful demo coming out, and Mori with a nice shot. And for the first time in the series, Scorpions have that second goal.
Only took them 16 minutes and 16 seconds to get a second goal in any individual game. So good to see them getting both of them early. We'll see if they can even add to that lead, because hey, their cap for goals in the game is definitely not 2. I'm sure we've seen them score more than that. And hey, they'll also like the fact that, hey, even if we lose, it's not 2-1. Even though the series will be over at that point. But let's see if the Scorpions can hold this lead for longer than, what, 30 seconds this time around. And I think they have. Jinja, very nice pass back to Musk. Off the backboard, Jinja with another touch. Demo in net. Ooh, could have been dangerous. Scorpions, I think, avoid disaster there. Cleared away by Dank. Scorpion's going to look for a third. Mori does not read it. Gio on the ball. Going to go for the demo. Instead gets the bump. Musk. Great 50 center. Going to have a teammate. Beautiful play. And Jinja with the strike to tie it up here. 2:40 on the clock. And we're all square.
Yeah, that little whiff by Gio that let it go to Musk might have been like an accidental perfect situation, as Musk sets it up perfectly for Ginja. Obviously, no mistake on that. And now, despite all the work the Scorpions have done, we're back square as we approach the halfway mark.
Back across, good carry, intercepted by Dank. He gets a double. That's out. Great read from Gio off that double. 50 better on that case for Mori. Oh, whiff by Musk. The Scorpion's going to get some possession. See what they can do with it. Dank trying to get a shot off. Galaxy double committing. Looking a little nervy here, but they're going to get some offense going. Cleared away. A miss from Jinja in the corner. Gio. Going to get that one back out. Mori with the touch. Into the corner. Gio looking to get it back through. Great touch from Soggy on that backboard. Good on that attempt. Muskrat. To get the possession, but Dank beating him to it. Soggy. Oh, he tried to go off the ceiling, realized he couldn't get back down, and the Galaxy going to clear this one back out. Scorpions are going to need a third goal now to win this game. Good 50 by Dank. Are they going to get a here? Good shot by Soggy is saved away. Gio going to look to clear this one back out.
Yeah, I absolutely see a situation where Scorpions start to get some momentum. I've watched how Dank has played. It's been excellent. And I think Soggy has also kind of stepped up. I just really think if the Scorpions want to be able to take this, they need to be a bit more consistent on the offensive pressure. I've seen it a couple times, but they've seemed kind of jittery all series, and I think they've improved a bit upon that. A bit of a whiff coming out from Dank, but the momentum has definitely gone more in their favor recently comparatively to what we saw in the earlier series.
That could have been a beautiful shot from Dank, but unfortunately, like you said, whiffing on that attempt. This is dangerous for the Scorpions. Galaxy not able to get up to it, though, unfortunately. That's going to be cleared out. They're cleared right back in by the Scorpions. Galaxy haven't gotten a lot of offensive pressure in quite a while. Let's see if they can do that here. Muskrat with the catch. Ginger looked for the demos in net, not going to find it. Musk going to find the bump on his own teammate. Good opportunity from Geo, but that team bump probably killed quite a bit of that momentum. And with just a few seconds on the clock, a miss. Ginger finds the back of the net, and that could ice the series.
Wow. Ginja plays for the miss, and that crucial miss on the backboard there. And Ginja pots it through. Only 15 seconds left here. Scorpions really need a goal if they want to keep their chances alive here in this series here as the clock counts down as we approach the final 10 seconds of this pivotal game.
Those faithful buzzers ringing out. And it will be for the last time of the Scorpions season. The Galaxy sweep them and take themselves to the lower bracket finals to play the Centurions for a place in the independent finals.
Yeah, wow. That was pretty dominant for the Galaxy. Like, the games were close, but I felt like the Galaxy were in the driver's seat for a solid amount of that series, and they pull it out in the end. Their momentum of winning series really handily has continued. Their 3 series that they have played are now 4-1, 4-1, and 4-0. As they go into the Centurion series with a ton of momentum.
They got to be feeling real good heading into that series. And that should be a wonderful contest on Thursday night. Will we bring it to you? We'll have to wait and see. But what we don't have to wait and see is the fact that we have another fantastic game coming up right after the break. Tundra versus Bobcats. AAA game. Bobcats dropped down to lower bracket one last time. And now we're going to try and get redemption once more to make their way back to a top 3 spot through the losers bracket. Will they do it? The Tundra, formidable opponents. So should be a very fun one, Raid.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a fun one. My Bobcats team, I'm the GM of that org, and I know when we last played the Tundra, we did not take that series, so it's really a bit of a revenge opportunity for my Bobcats, who had a pretty hot end of the season to make the playoffs. So I have high expectations for them. We'll see if they can pull it out on stream.
We will see indeed. We're going to take a short break and be right back. We're going to have a player interview as well. That's going to be very fun. And then a player going to join me on the desk for the next couple of games. We will see you after this break. Hello and welcome back to the RLPC desk. Hot 4-0 right off the bat for the Galaxy over the Scorpions. Going to make it to top 3 this season and play the Centurions on Thursday. And we got a little interview here. I'm joined by the one and only Muskrat from the Galaxy. Fantastic win tonight. You guys looked dominant in that series, and the 4-0 doesn't necessarily tell all the storyline. Every game in that series was one goal, and how did you find a way to win all those close games?
Well, it's good to be here, Cubics, and back on stream. And one of the things, like, throughout the season, like, each of those games, like, a couple of them, we went down a goal or two. I don't even know if we went down more than 2 goals or 1 goal a game. But one thing we struggled with was getting back into series and getting back into games that we were down in. And we grinded that out and kind of were really focusing on playing solid defense and making sure we weren't letting anything through that was basically what I would call free. We wanted to make sure they were getting tough shots and having to make them. And in the end, it just came out that we were playing good enough defense to stop them, and our offense did the work.
Offense definitely saying a lot in that series for you guys, looking very good all the way throughout. And mentioning beforehand, before we got on stream here, that you guys have been absolutely taking this as seriously as possible, grinding out the game over the past couple of weeks. And how has the team kind of bonded over that time and made sure to get this playoff push and really try and make a push here to get that championship?
I definitely will say it's not been perfect at all times. Like, we've had our little squanders here and there, but throughout it, we also can laugh at things and kind of be able to use that as bonding and be able to relax when funny things happen and not take everything too serious. But midway through the season, we weren't doing the best, so we had to decide that we needed to kind of change our play style and fix everything up to what would work. And right now, it's working really well for us. And that's one of the things we really just been focusing on, is getting that play style engraved and just keep going and keep grinding and keep scrimming. Like, we've been scrimming lots of teams lately, and we've been getting a lot of learning from it, and it's been benefiting us a lot.
It certainly has. And I mean, you guys have made a fantastic run through the lower bracket. Coming into this playoffs as well, you only had the one life starting in lowers and have really proven your worth to make it to top 3, only losing 2 games through your whole bracket, 12-2 in individual games so far in these best of 7s, and seem to be really thriving in the best of 7 kind of format versus the best of 5s that we see in the regular season. What kind of difference have you noticed in the way that you guys have played in these best of 7s versus the best of 5s in the regular season?
Personally, for me, Cubics, I have been through a few seasons in these playoffs, and I have not had a playoff win like the seasons before this. So this is the first season I actually got a playoff win. But for my other 2 teammates, both of them have won before, and I think all of us are coming into this like we know what to expect with the playoffs, and we know we have to stay focused and stay on. And I honestly feel like none of us really seem to have much nerves going on either throughout the games, even on stream, which was awesome. And even coming from that Mickey conference, so-called Mickey conference, in making our lower run, we're proving why our place in the playoffs is not a fluke. We are here to win, and we're coming for every team that's in our way.
That's for sure. Only 2 more obstacles on that route to the independent championship, the Centurions and the Wizards. Both teams looking pretty solid, and I'm sure you're looking forward to both of those games. So thank you for the interview. But in a funny turn of events, you ain't leaving. You're staying with me the rest of the night here, Musk. Joining me on the desk. And from your fantastic win, we will move over here to our next game, the Tundra versus the Bobcats, a AAA matchup that should be a very, very good one. Had Radon earlier, is the GM of that Bobcats org, and after dropping in their first series, they've looked better as of late. They came out 4-2 over the Vipers in that bottom game in the losers bracket. Now play a hot Tundra who've only lost 1 game to their opponents, and this is going to be a very good one as we take a quick look at the playoffs here.
And looking at these playoffs and stuff, I have not really been able to see too much of the AAA, and I'm not very well prepared here, as I played earlier. Didn't get a stat sheet up, but looking at this, Entropy running that upper bracket, but Tundra has been dominating the lowers. As of the Bobcats, quite a little bit. Oh wait, no, sorry, Bobcats fell from the upper, so they're looking to regain and gain some ground back here. But Tundra coming in pretty strong from that lower 4-0 and a 4-1. So I expect Tundra to come out here pretty hot. And Bobcats, not definitely to be underestimated, but I definitely think that this might be a closer matchup than our last series.
It definitely will be. Hearing from a lot of people that this one should go a fair distance, 6, if not all the way to 7 on that Champs Field. And we'd love to see a little Champs Field action. We've had so many sweeps throughout these playoffs or quick series. We've only gotten to Wasteland a couple of times at Map 5. But we did make it to Champions Field once. It was a reverse sweep from the Cougars over the Pelicans last week. That a fantastic game.
That was insane.
And we'll have the next one in that that storyline from the Cougars here. They're playing the Embers at 10. Already plugged that once in the last series, and I'll plug it again because that should be a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah.
But so will this one here. The winner moves on to play the Osprey, and then the winner of Osprey versus the winner tonight going to play the Entropy, who made their way through the upper bracket into the finals. Osprey 4-1 these Bobcats. The Bobcats going to look to win here and then get redemption on Thursday for that match. So, man, that rematch should be very, very good.
And looking at both these teams, a lot of these players, looking just at the Tundra side, a lot of well-known names in RLPC with Coffee, Mike, Stick. Here only with 3 series, so I don't suspect we'll be seeing him today. But they've had a good score across the board. Not too many goals, but they're very tight together, which tells me that most of the time they're using each other and scoring a lot with all 3 of their players who are in at all points in time, which is definitely a dangerous combo you got to worry about.
That should be great. So we're going to make sure that everything is good for both teams, as I think we have people in the lobby. I'm checking their ping real quick, make sure we got a good lobby set up here. Still waiting on T-Man's team to get in here.
And also looking at that Bobcats roster, in terms of series played, Kronos and Martev for them have the most, and Remote and T-Man are close together, but they have about half the series the Kronos do. So I don't know who the starting roster is for them, Cubics, if you know. But I feel like I've heard T-Man's name quite a bit lately, so he might be that player to look out for. But at the same time, Martev and Kronos need to keep up their consistency if they want to be keeping within the series, because as well as the Tundra, they both have... One of them has 45 goals and the other with 59, and that's pretty close spread in comparison to Tundra, maybe a little bit lower on the lower side. But I expect a very quality match from these two teams.
This should be a fantastic one in the regular season between these two teams. When they met up, it was week 1, in fact, meeting up right at the beginning of the season. Bobcats did end up taking that in 5, so that went the distance. And I totally expect it to go the exact same way here again. Bobcats coming into this as well, 9-9, and Tundra 14-4. So by record, Tundra should have the advantage, but Bobcats have looked good this series as well.
And both teams having strong runs in the playoffs right now, and it's exactly what you're wanting to look for when you come into these playoffs. Even though Bobcats dropping from the upper, I believe it was Bobcats, yeah, Tundra made the run down low. But Bobcats dropping from the upper and being able to bounce back and win that game is definitely a confidence booster. And these two teams playing since week 1 can really be a puzzling kind of thing to think about, because both these teams have clearly had different routes on their season going on. As Bobcats, you said 9-9, Tundra 14-4, yet Tundra's still having to start in that lower bracket. And that just tells you the competition they were against in their own conference. Even though in RLPC, a lot of people claim there are tons of Mickey conferences. If people are winning, I believe they belong here. And both these teams have been winning and doing a great job at it as well throughout these playoffs. But for this series, Cubics, I think in terms of making a prediction, I'm going to predict Tundra in 6. Unfortunately, it's Raids Bobcats, I believe. Unfortunately, I'm going to be going against the Bobcats on this one and taking Tundra, as I expect them to keep making that lower bracket run.
We will see. This is going to be a good game. I think I'm going to take Tundra, and I think I'm going to go a little bit off book here and say in 5. I think Tundra are going to take it 3-1. So that should be a pretty close game. But Tundra, throughout the season, we've seen them be a little bit of a step ahead. 14-4, starting in the losers bracket. Really a tough start for them, but they've shown their prowess in this lower bracket. They're tied for the top record in the entire league with the team that's now currently waiting in the grand finals from the upper bracket already in the Entropy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, because the only reason that the Tundra started in the lower bracket is because of the tiebreaker between them and Entropy, and they're proving why they have the second best record by beating all these teams that have fallen into the lower bracket. As we get a server reset real quick already for some reason, and we're getting this set up and gonna get this to you ASAP.
Wouldn't that be a story to just see Tundra come meet Entropy at the end saying, yeah, you may have edged us out for that spot, but we're still here and we're still wanting to take that championship. But at the same time, Bobcats with that 99 record, they take this, they're going to definitely be in some really confident place for themselves, as taking down Tundra at that 14-4 record, basically keeping up with Entropy the whole way of the season until the very end, it's no small feat for them, and it would definitely be probably one of the biggest wins to look for Bobcats moving on from this. And as Entropy, you got to think, if Bobcats are beating Tundra as well, then we're going to start having issues with them, and a lot of these teams, especially in we're in AAA, yeah. In AAA, a lot of these guys are very capable, very smart players. They know exactly what they want to do with the ball, whether they can do it every time, not always guaranteed, but they're smart. They know how to communicate. They've been in positions like this before. They've played against really good players. So I expect both teams to come out, well, I said this many times, but both teams are definitely going to be coming out, I think, looking to go for the throat as soon as possible as well. And server reset, throwing off my vibes. But as we're going to get back into here, I want to hear from chat. I want to hear in chat, I want Bob or Ton for your predictions here. And give us a game number, or just give us who you think is going to win the series all in all. We love to see it in the chat.
All right, I think we finally got people wait here in the lobby. And yeah, I think we're ready to go. So they're already hopping in, so let's get this thing started.
So you got Tundra in 5, and I got him in 6. Let's hope that we don't cast or curse anybody here. It's happened before, and it's happened many times. It definitely would not surprise me.
This is going to be a very interesting one. Let's get this ready.
Waiting for a few players. Are we still waiting on some players? It looks like we might be. But as we are waiting, let's see what people in chat are saying right now, what we're seeing a lot of. I see a few Tons in 5 also. Not really too much else, but right now, looking to get this game started, really. And one of the lookout players I've seen from the Tundra is Coffee. Coffee's been a well-talked-about name throughout RLPC, and I think we've seen him on stream pop off quite a few times. And it looks like T-Man is playing for the Bobcats as well. And T-Man has also been a force to be reckoned with from what I've recently heard. So both these teams having players who are definitely capable of changing a series in a heartbeat.
All right, we are waiting on players in the Bobcats. Although, breaking news, it looks like the Bobcats might have to pull a double or single A sub. Because one of their players
pretty
does
big.
not seem to be here. So, that going to be huge and super unfortunate for good friend Raid. We'll see what is going on there. See if I can get the scoop directly from him.
And a lot of this, for people who are first-time viewers and things, RLPC is a Discord server organized of a lot of different MMR ranges and stuff for Rocket League, and we do a lot of these things seasonally quite often, and have our 18-game seasons for every league, and I'd accept maybe Major. I believe they still would play the same amount even though they have less, but a lot of great Rocket League, a lot of great intensity as well in some of these matchups. Just seeing some players stand out from the rest, and also seeing some teams just mesh so well together. And it's just something fun to always watch and be able to see a lot of these players grow and see where they go to from where they start. It's one of my favorite things to see in RLPC.
All right, since this game was officially scheduled for 9 p.m., the FF time is 9:10. So we are going to see if that comes to fruition.
It sounds like a Bobcats player in a ranked match got scored on in OT. That's going to definitely be a confidence drainer right there coming into a series on stream. And definitely want to see how that's going to affect him as he starts this series off.
I'm sure it'll be better than that ranked match, but yet to see.
His teammates are probably better.
Probably. And
Now, T-Man making a storm in the chat, just summoning his teammate, hopefully. Whatever magic circle or divination magic he has to use, we are okay with it here in RLPC. But if he doesn't get here, then yep. It looks like I think that they have joined in, maybe, or it might just be some other
Kronos are both here, so it looks like we do have people. Okay, we're good. I think we're finally ready to go.
I almost gave us a start earlier, and now we're not. Now we're ready. Now we're ready. I say no, but
right. Mike saying, "Are we good? Are you sure?" And T-Man's response, "No." So that's fun.
Apparently, players are needing back massages in AAA before games now. I didn't get no back massage, and my last series turned out just fine. I think these guys are going to be okay. And it looks like it's just a group exercise right now. Everyone just wanting to get involved in the chat and talk to each other about how much they wish they had a back rub right now. But looking to see when they get into the game, looking to see how focused they get and see what it seems like in terms of the comms, because these guys seem like they're having a good time right now, which is nice to see that they're relaxed and ready to start playing, as all the players are going to finally join into the match for this AAA matchup between the Tundra and Bobcats Cubics. I cannot wait for this series to start.
It's been a while. We're finally getting some action here. AAA underway. An elimination day.
Mike coming out with some vicious aggression right now. Oh, T-Man, I think he bumped Martev off a spawn or something. Looked pretty awkward, but Martev's going to clear this away. Coffee's already up for that. A beautiful car, might I add. Very impressed with the car choice for this one. Let's see if it helps him out through the series, but pass down is going to be blocked away. Mike's just going to take that shot, and it's in. The Tundra have already taken a 1-0 lead.
They had a very clean 50 and just wide open for that shot. I don't know what happened there with the the free play graphic, but yeah, that's just a clean shot off a clean 50. Good read and good shot, and it's in the net. And the Bobcats defense caught lacking there real quick, and we'll see if they can bring it back here.
I like the idea from Stick 2 to try to get in front and make sure that defender knows that he'll try to be there for that dunk. Really got to give him something else to think about, as Chronosomes is going to get a great dunk there as well, but it's going to be saved by Stick. I believe that was off the backboard. Very close chance on a shot, but Stick's going to take this to the wall. No boost. He's going to get a good 50. Uses that what little boost he has to get a better 50 the next one. Mike is up. Chronosome's trying to get that dunk that he got earlier on the offensive side, but nothing's coming through. And Bobcats back on defense again. Not really a place they want to be in terms of facing this Tundra team, as they've already shown to be lethal quite early in this game.
Oh, that's a great 50. Yikes, man. Bobcats with some good pressure here. I like to see it. They're down, so this pressure definitely a good sign. That demo is absolutely not, though, and that's going to be cleared all the way out and into their net if they're not careful. T-Man is able to get there, thank goodness, but the Tundra have looked very good on both sides of the ball. They got that early goal and have been playing off of it very nicely, and the Bobcats haven't really been given a whole lot of good pressure here, and that's something I'm going to need to see change. They're going to have to get some better quality shots going.
I think some consistent pressure would definitely help out their offense a lot here, and one thing I'm noticing quite early in this game is Tundra have been getting like a lot of these single demos on one player, putting their team into a 3v2 situation, which is very helpful for them. But at the same time, Bobcats really can't afford to keep doing that, as it's already proven to be a problem for them when it comes to maintaining any offense or playing some good defense. Chronosomes with a great stall in the air just to get a 50 with Coffee, so he couldn't get a free shot. But Mike waiting for that clear instantly, and that's a 50 and a double commit from the Bobcats. Stick gonna take this to the middle. Chronosomes is there to pinch it out. Another demo rings out. Still sitting at that 1-0 scoreline as we've gone halfway through the game. Cubics not really seeing too much like rushing from the Tundra. They don't really feel the pressure or anything like they have to score too much right now. They have their lead. They don't really need quite yet to press a panic button for anything.
I think calm, cool, collected is the best way to put it. They're playing with a nice kind of slower but very controlled pace, and I think it's not necessarily catching the Bobcats off guard, but it's playing into their own strengths. But when the speed is picked up by the Bobcats, clearly their defense not prepared for this one. That's a great pass center to Martev, and he just beats a couple Tundra members who are pushed way up, and they all kind of ended up in the same general area, and that's kind of how that one squeaked through. And if you're the Tundra, going to want that back, and now you got to put on a little bit of the urgency, put on a little bit of the pressure, get the speed up, and try and get that goal back.
One thing I've noticed as well is that a few of these 50s have been going, well, not a few, but I feel like a majority of the 50s in any point in the field have been going the Tundra's way, which in higher level play usually ends up meaning that team is going to have a lot better opportunities and chances. But Bobcats, that play was quite impressive, I would say. Good pass from T-Man to Martev. But now they just got to get one more, and they can have a good chance of taking this game. Stick a touch around Martev, and now Tundra back on the offensive side. Going to take their time with it. No one pressuring quite yet. Mike with a bump. It's been kind of his motive this whole game, is getting those bumps. But Martev with a shot to put them up by one with a minute left.
This is a nice play. Coffee with the really bad touch. Not able to keep control of it like he needed to bring it into that corner. Martev is just there and is able to put it in the net. And the Bobcats take a lead now. And now the Tundra really got to get that one back, as they were up for quite a bit of this game, and now they find themselves in the hole. We'll see if they can keep their mental under wraps and able to make this comeback.
And one of those things, I think Coffee on that play might have been trying to either get a touch to the corner or just trying to get a beat around. That's a very dangerous play, as it's barely saved away by the Tundra. Left almost for a chance, but no one was there to quite follow it up. Nick's going to take it off the backboard now. It's a good play outside, but Chronosomes is going to be there, and that's going to be over one. Coffee's going to be right on it, though. This is where the Tundra need to start getting back on that offense. They're running quite out of time for this game one. And right now, Chronosomes taking it along the left. It's going to be cleared away again, though, but Tundra not where they need to be. They need to be on that offensive side, and they're stuck on the defense. But as time's ticking away, they have a chance, but it gets saved away. Coffee with the pass. Oh, T-Man doesn't make contact as it hits the ground, and we end game 1 with a Bobcats victory.
That's just a really poor effort at the end from the Tundra. They had the pop from the ball that was coming in front of the net, and everybody ended up out of position, and nobody was able to get to the ball, unfortunately. And now they find themselves down a game. You can see in the shots column, too, twice as many for the Bobcats and twice the score as well. So they were able to change their fate and change the game after that first half or so, and the Tundra not able to make anything of whatever semblance of pressure they ended up having at the end of that game. So a bit unfortunate for them as we head to map number 2.
And I believe the game audio seems to not be working right now, Cubics, but
yes,
as we'll go into... Looking at these stats right now, Tundra, 9 demos. My goodness, do they love hitting the opponents. But it seems like they like hitting their opponents more than they like hitting the balls. They only register 5 shots. And the demos are good as long as you're getting benefits from them. But now, losing that game 1, they only got 1 goal out of the 5 shots and 9 demos. And definitely something's got to be a problem right now for the Tundra on that demo heavy play style. They really need to pick their moments when it seemed to be working early, but as we got further into the game, it just seemed like it was starting to become a little bit less effective as Bobcats were really starting to turn it on.
They got a lot of good pressure at the end of that game.
Yeah, and as we head into game 2, that's a double commit from Tundra already, and looking to see if the Bobcats pick up where they left off, or if Tundra keep up the heavy demo playstyle, and that's a great shot from Coffee off the wall from Stick. This is the way Tundra wanted to start this game, getting some pass plays and stuff. Yep, a great 50. And that's just going to be a great shot from Coffee under all the defense and noticing no one's back. And Tundra getting the first goal once again, Cubics.
Yeah, it was almost the exact same play, except farther in their end. They just got a nice touch off the wall, and it ended up going in. My goodness, Tundra on fire. Great pass from Coffee to find that space on the backboard. Sorry, from Stick. To find that space on the backboard, and Mike ready and waiting in position to find a wide open half in the net. Just 5 seconds after that kickoff, and now they have a multi-goal lead, scoring more than they did in that last game, and hopefully they can continue that here.
Ooh, Coffee almost getting an air dribble over 2, but ran out of real estate in the boost department, and now Stick getting up there with using all of his boost just to get that beat, but now they're going to have to back off as Chronosomes is taking that up in the air, gets the flip reset 50. A great play by him, but T-Man going to try to take a shot. Magic Mike saving it. And Tundra had some solid defense in the last game, Cubics. We saw them being able to save quite a few shots until it came close to the end. And I'd like to see that defense be consistent throughout the entire game, but that, oh my, T-Man with almost an insane double, can't quite hit it on the mark. And now that's a good 50. My goodness, Tundra getting away with one there, I say.
Absolutely. That's a gimme double any other day of the week, but playoff elimination game jitters getting to him. And the Bobcats unable to convert. T-Man had that wide open touch. A wide open net with a misread on the backboard, and can't make the most of a great opportunity as they're going to try and create another one here.
Coffee not able to make contact. Mike is there. Mike has been a very close follow-up on that second man, and especially when it comes to those demos, just being an aggressive player. I think it really helps his teammates be able to relax a bit more. But right now, with that 2-goal lead, they're got to be feeling pretty relaxed. But I would say losing game 1, you don't want to let this Bobcats team get some momentum or get confidence back in, as we saw what happened when they got that momentum last time. Corona zones. Oh my goodness. T-Man with the shot, it's off the crossbar. That's the second time now in this game that the Bobcats weren't quite able to finish off a play.
T-Man wasn't able to finish off a play.
I didn't want to quite single him out yet. It's only been a couple games, but T-Man, that's going to be a shot right at Coffee, who's right in the way. But Bobcats having a little bit of offensive errors, but they got half the game left, so it's not quite the worst situation yet.
Ooh, that's a good shot from Kronos, but a better save in net. And that's going to allow the Tundra to try and take some pressure, finding some space in their own half. The clear is going to be out, but another great play by the Bobcats. Oh my goodness, talk about a double tap. That would have been crazy. But it doesn't go, and some quality chances being created here from the Bobcats, but they're not able to make anything happen. And yeah, we'll see if their transition game is going to hold up. It's not. And the Tundra go up by 3 here with just 2 minutes left. Finding a hole in the transition here from the defense, and after so much pressure from the Bobcats, they just couldn't find a way through what seemed to be a brick wall Tundra defense. And Bobcat's going to need to do it 3 times now and not just 2.
Tundra, kind of like a glacier, there's cracks, but you can't quite break through, as we saw a few chances for the Bobcats, but now they're on the opposite end of what their chances were, and that is 3-0. They had 3 chances to probably put one in the net, and now there's a chance for Chronosomes, as he's going to put this scoreline to 3-1.
Beautiful play, and better read from Kronos here. Off the top stick, can't quite get there. A good read, just easy tap in to the back of the net once you get that read down. And he did, and good time-saving effort there as well, with 87 seconds on that clock, 97 seconds on that clock, pardon me. They need one about every 50 now, and that one coming in only 20. So they showing that they have that pace, but can they keep up that pace and score maybe even 4 to take it in regulation?
And this game, we're starting to see that Tundra offense come into play a bit more, as Coffee's starting to get a bit more active on the offensive end. But good push down the field from Martev, as T-Man's going to put that one in, and now the Bobcats are within 1 in this game too, and the Tundra really got to be locking up this defense toward the last 2 minutes of the game.
T-Man hit a shot. He did the thing. He did the thing, Muskrat.
He did. He finally found the post, between the post and the crossbar, and that is got to be so sweet for him, and a great confidence booster as well.
Absolutely. It's good to finally get one on your 3rd attempt. Try again. You will... Oh, the touch from Coffee is good, but not well read by his teammate. And Bobcats are very much within striking distance of trying to take this to overtime. Good 50 by Kronos right away. And they'll have possession. The Bobcats could actually make something happen here, Musk.
Bobcats trying to play some 50s to keep not giving up the ground in the midfield. They really want to be able to maintain their possession of the ball, so the Tundra can't take it away and get back on their offensive side. But Bobcats seem to be kind of running a little low on boost and a little panicky on the back end, but they still only need 1. So with 10 seconds left, they're just going to need to get 1 transition back onto offense to have a good chance. But that's another unfortunate read off the back wall. It's not going to come up with a touch, and it's looking almost like Tundra's probably going to take this game, as they're going to have one last pop-up. Coffee's just going to send it into the ground, and we are tied in this series at 1-1.
He absolutely spiked that into the ground. Beautiful little play at the end there to make sure that's a game all done with here, and they finally get the game on the board. Tie the series up as we head into our next map here.
And looking at the stat line, Tundra reducing the demos a lot and increasing the shot output, and you just see what it's done for them. They only had 3 demos, and they had 8 shots this game, and 3 goals to benefit from it. Stick getting a playmaker. This is the team we were trying to see from the Tundra, is all of them working together, playing well, getting opportunities on the board and stuff. And Bobcats, between Chromosomes and T-Man, they both had 5 shots each. And Martev with 0, not really getting too much of a, not the best game there for Martev. But Bobcats are not out of this series. They've only dropped a game, and if they can regroup and kind of bring their offense into play a bit more at the beginning of the matches, I think they'll have a way better chance of winning these games.
They will, as we get everybody back onto the floor for pivotal game 3. looking to take the 2-game lead here in this one. And that would be a very big momentum swing here, especially if Tundra can get 2 games in a row, get an extra series leading one under their belt. That could be huge heading on to Utopia.
And Tundra back on the defense, but Coffee's going to get a clear.
Oh
Mike with the bump. This is going to leave a shot open for Coffee. That's going to go in. And again, 3rd game in a row, Cubics. Tundra have scored first.
My man got clobbered. Goodness gracious.
Oh
That's in the
my.
back of that. That's just a well-played 2-on-1, really. Just going for that bump, going for the physical play. This Tundra, we've seen do that so much. And they finally get it to go. Oh my, another shot off the post. Mike, that was very close. Tundra almost
Mike
taking that
gets that.
2-goal lead again.
Tundra coming out hot on the offense again at the beginning of the game. I wonder if this is just part of their play styles. They come out with that offense aggressively at the beginning and then kind of lay back toward the end if they have that lead. But Bobcats, they really need to get back on their offense because they were having lots of success when they were creating good opportunities with each other. But right now, they're kind of all over the place. Mike with another shot. Gonna be running back without a boost. T-Man pass middle. Martev is there. Gonna pass it all the way across, but he's gonna have to follow up his own touch. A demo downfield from Mike. Martev is just chasing the ball now. And he's gonna get another 50. Stick is up, going for that air dribble. Gonna try to take the 50.
Oh
It
my.
just goes wide. And another 50 on the goal line. A lot of these teams, or both these teams, really opting for 50s when the going's getting tough or when the ball's really close to either the ground or just, oh my, T-Man, what a save. Coffee with a hard shot. But both these teams taking those 50s whenever they can and just using it to bail themselves out. Magic Mike with a flip reset. Both these teams, Cubics, really displaying the mechanics in this series.
That's for sure. That clear attempt off the post for the Bobcats, trying to tie it up. Again off the post. Shot is in from Martev, and he ties up the score. And a little interesting tidbit here. The Tundra have not scored in the last 2 minutes of any of the games so far. So they do seem to be, to your point, scoring early and not able to close it out with goals in the back half. So we'll see if the Bobcats can take advantage of that.
And on that play, T-Man, if you're not hitting shots, then you might as well start passing, and that's exactly what happened there, just threatening the shot, and Magic Mike also threatening a shot, but this time not making contact. But it's going to still be Tundra on the offensive possession, and that's a good 50 as both of them meet on the ball to pinch it away. But Mike's going to get another clear downfield, but Kronos is waiting, going for that mechanical play. We know Kronos is so good at these. But a good 50 in the air from Mike is going to stop that immediately. That's a high pinch out too, but Kronos is there. Martev with a touch unexpectedly for Coffee, but Stick is there. Stick, for me, Cubics, has looked like one of the more consistent players on all-around play. It looks like he's been staying firm in the back, and when he needs to be on offense, he's able to be capable of creating opportunities, creating those passes, and also just shooting the ball.
Absolutely. He's played a very good enabler role for this Tundra squad in this game, making the plays happen, like passes like this that are going to end up in a goal by Mike, who's been their striker as well, and the connection that they've had all series has been fantastic. And yeah, Stick's been the one to make these plays happen, both offensively and defensively, clutching up whenever they need to. And now Tundra find themselves with a lead.
And Tundra gonna take that 1-goal lead. Got 2 minutes left here in this game. A little bit of a resemblance of game 2, but Tundra had one more goal than that, and we can't count the Bobcats out. They were able to score quite quickly in succession, one after the other, but getting 50s and clears like that is gonna definitely slow down their pace in terms of what they want to do on offense. They're really gonna have to keep these balls close to them and at least maintain some possession when they want to keep their offensive pressure going. That's a great shot.
Oh, the 50
Mike
from
with the
T-Man.
great save. Say T-Man in a very precarious situation to 50 Mike on the back wall there, but it didn't quite turn out for anything. Another play downfield, a demo rings out as well. And now as we're coming close to that final minute, Cubics, Bobcats kind of seem a little shut down by this Tundra's defense right now.
That's an interesting breakout opportunity, but yeah, the Tundra have been great on defense all series long. Oh my goodness, almost caster cursed them to who knows where, but a wonderful recovery in that net from the Tundra to keep that ball out. And the Bobcats have looked good when they've had offensive pressure, but just never able to find a way past the defense of the Tundra. Oh, that's a double commit, and Tundra going to have a clean look at the net. Oh, the touch from Coffee's off, and now T-Man going to try and take it the other way.
My goodness, a stealing shot from T-Man, 2 up to save from Tundra, and another one committed as well from the Bobcats to try to put that one in, but still nothing coming out of that possession. Kronos looking at a ground double there almost. Very smart play to make, but 2 back is going to be hard to get it through, as the Tundra really locking up on defense with the last few seconds. They only need 1 though from the Bobcats. There's a shot, it's going to ring down, it should go in, and Kronos is going to finish it off. With 9 seconds left, Cubics is tied up 2-2.
Oh, you don't get closer than that. The ghost touch from Coffee, too. You can see on the replay that it looked like he had a touch to clear it to the side and did not end up having it. Rocket League God saying no thank you on that one, and we might be headed to overtime.
And now, Tundra, they just need that 1 more goal, and they can't quite panic yet. We're going in overtime. It's not quite the worst thing ever, but you'd like to finish this game off without having something like that happen, but at this point they're just gonna have to lock up and get that offense rolling again, as they've been able to be very creative and use a lot of great plays. Kronos though is a soloing machine sometimes. My goodness, almost able to fake out in 50 one of the Tundra's players, putting them in a very bad spot. But back on the offense is Tundra, and a bump comes out from Coffee. And he's been one of my, earlier I said, one of my players to look out for, as he puts a shot in overtime to end it for Tundra.
Oh yeah, that is a gorgeous top shelf laser from Coffee, picking that top corner out. Oh my goodness, you cannot place it better than that. The Tundra find their first goal past the 2-minute mark in any game, and it's one that gets them the 1-game series lead.
Technically, being in overtime, that wasn't past 2 minutes because they didn't go through 2 minutes of overtime.
Oh,
so,
you know what I mean.
I'm just messing. But Coffee, as I was mentioning, my player to look out for, because sometimes it seems a little hit or miss with his play and stuff, as we were seeing some of the plays from him in that game alone. Just a couple misses on a touch here or there, as we saw in one of the earlier games, a touch inside that just led to a goal for the Bobcats. But when he's really popping off, this Tundra team is so dangerous, as he puts 2 goals in this game. And again, they keep that shot percentage up for this game as well, registering 8 shots once again and reducing their demos.
Yeah, the Bobcats with 10 shots for them, on the other hand, not able to score consistently with their shots. Tundra with that 3 for 8, over 35-ish%, and the Bobcats way down at 20. Not good for their offense in this game, and I'd like to see some of the shot consistency get a little bit boosted up here, and hopefully they can score more consistently when they're getting the pressure they are.
And again, the Bobcats just having that issue we talked about earlier of not being able to get those goals early on in their series. They had one about midway through that last game, but they were waiting until the last second to be able to tie that series up. And against this Tundra team, it just does not seem like that's really something you can do. Is they can really turn on their offense and turn on their defense at any points. Only really good plays and really precise plays seem to be breaking through. And just a little bit of panic on that last goal for the Bobcats on that defensive line from Tundra seemed to be the one problem that hit them at the end. But you kind of expect those every once in a while when the clock's ticking down. It's going to be down.
That's a good chance.
Stick! What a save!
T-Man with a beautiful read off a really hard ball to get a grasp of, and oh, that's a pass the other way. T-Man going to take advantage of it. Bobcats find a lead here in a pivotal game 4. Puts them on match point if they lose, but if they win, it's a best of 3 effectively. And when you're getting passes from the other team, you're going to take advantage of those every single time you can.
Just an unfortunate touch for Coffee, too. Probably either looking for a pass or maybe just thinking no one was behind, ready to follow up on the touch. But that's one of those plays that I was talking about earlier where sometimes it can really benefit or it can really hurt you. And we're seeing a bit of both in this series from him. And I'd like to see if that is the first time this series now that the Tundra did not score first, Cubic. So this might be a whole different game for the Bobcats now that their offense is getting started a little earlier, especially with that momentum boost.
Well, that demo and that Tundra's still playing aggressive, and I like to see that out of them. And we'll see if they can actually make use of it here. They've been very aggressive and getting a lot of demos, but the quantity has not been near the no, I said that wrong. The quantity has not been near the quality of the demos, meaning that they're getting way more and not able to use them effectively and just kind of chasing a little bit too much. So hopefully they can actually use them effectively here.
Oh!
My goodness, Martev with the flip reset. This man is nuts.
Isn't that the AA sub for them? Or, oh my.
No, he's on the
Martev
main
just
roster.
flat out beating the entire Tundra defense there with the flip reset. My goodness. What a pop-off now. The Bobcats, with a 2-0 lead, are really starting to dominate this game 4.
That is a absolutely beautiful shot. The flip reset. How often do you see that, let alone in a playoff game? A huge confidence boost for the Bobcats here in this crucial game, and that almost a third in a row. Looking better with Mikey in.
Pass middle from Mike, but doesn't be able to follow it up, and now Tundra finding themselves in a position they haven't been in this series, and that is being down by 2 without a goal to their name, and that's a good pass middle, but no one's there for it. I'm a little worried if maybe some of the comms aren't quite as clean as they were earlier, but that's a triple commit from the Bobcats. Oh, what a double to save them right there. Martev, if he doesn't get that double, that ball was rolling middle for a wide open chance at a shot. And now Team Man No Boost gonna have to stall out on the backboard and wait. That's a hit center, but Team Man is there again. Magic Mike gonna go for the 50 on the goal line. 2 up for him. Coffee pass middle, stick shot, but it's saved. What a save from the Bobcats there to keep themselves up by 2. An important one at that, as 2 minutes are coming by, Cubics. The Tundra really needed that goal.
They really did. And now they're into the territory where they haven't scored in regulation before and are absolutely going to need to now. They're down by 2, and we're in the last 2, which means that the Tundra still are goalless if you don't count that overtime goal. They're going to have to find something special with their offense, and the Bobcats really making the most of scoring that first goal.
And it's not like the Bobcats are completely playing the perfect defense. They have a few double commits, a few triple commits. It's just a lot of the recoveries from them are really good, and being able to get an extra touch just to make the Tundra not ready for the touch that they get on the ball. We're just seeing, once again, more awkwardness from Tundra on the offense. Just Mike trying to hit a pass and Stick not really being able to read that one, but Stick going to put one on. It's going to go up above, and Martev is there and going to take that cleanly. Pass over to Mikey as well. Really fighting each other on defense, and this is how you want to get out of the defensive side. But Mike's going to go up for that double, and he's going to almost put it away. Teammate with the save, but Coffee's going to finish it off. And now the Tundra are within 1 with a minute left.
That is a great play by Mike, even though it didn't go in. That's a great 50 as well, to make sure that ball is going to sit in front of the net for Coffee so he can clean up the mess that became. And now they're within 1. They've now scored in the last 2 minutes, and they've scored in the last minute because there's 58 seconds left as well. Now, can they clutch up?
I'm going to chalk it up to my prediction of their play style, which is take the lead and then sit back and let the other team try to come and score on us within the last few seconds. Because it seems like now Tundra able to put some offense, and they have had some aggressive attacks. That's a little awkward, but Coffee going to clear that deep downfield, and that's going to send all the Bobcats players back onto the defensive side. They got about 30 seconds left here, and Tundra in a good spot to create an opportunity here, as Mike's going to hit that off the back wall. Coffee can't go for it, but Stick's going to follow up, and it's just going to drop down. Everyone on Tundra on the Bobcats defensive side. A bump from Mike, but Mikey's going to clear away. That's a good shot from Stick to put him back tied 2-2 with 8 seconds left.
Stick scores. What an angle this is, too. Well read. Another little zero-angle shot. Second one of the night. And that is gorgeous in the net. And the Tundra tie it up. We might be headed to yet another overtime. We saw the Tundra clutch up last time. We'll see if they can do it again.
The Tundra trying to one-up the oh my. What a great pinch, but Mike was there to shut it down immediately, not letting a shot come through. But Tundra trying to one-up the Bobcats' last overtime tire with 9 seconds. They said we could do it with 8 left. Oh my! That was almost an insane 0-second goal there from the Tundra, but Bobcats are playing some pretty good defense at the end of this. And as we head into overtime now, it's going to be curious to see which team comes out stronger to take this overtime. But Tundra have given us a lot of reason to believe in them.
A good demo. And the Tundra have been looking very good on their offense in the last little bit. They've put on the pressure, but now the kickoff reset comes in for overtime. Can they continue to get that pressure up, or are the Bobcats going to be the ones to try and apply it?
Some of these misses is a little worrying. Oh my gosh, Stick, what a 50! Oh! Mike could not quite get there to finish it off. Martev was back to keep that T-Man out of boost. I didn't notice before, but Kronos isn't in right now for the Bobcats.
Well, they got Mikey.
And that's going to be a finish for Coffee again. The overtime winner for Tundra is going to give them a 3 match point chance here, taking this series 3-1 right now.
And that, a crucial bit in this comeback. The Tundra come back from down 2 in this game to win it in overtime for the second game in a row, crushing the Bobcats' hopes. And hopefully they can kind of find something here. Only 4 shots in this game. They did so well early on and then fell off a cliff near the end of that game. And the Tundra really taking advantage of that, putting 3 at the end of that one. It played all the pressure that there was that they possibly could and did it very well in overtime in the midfield. And we'll see if they can continue the pressure that they've had here into our next game.
Now, Tundra, again, this is just the same formula over and over, putting up 13 shots this time and 4 demos, seeming to get way more pressure on that offensive side. And Coffee is really popping off on the shooting. As he said in chat to everyone, I am a shooter, and yes, he is. I believe this is like the 3rd game he's had 2 goals now, and he's really becoming a problem for this Bobcat squad. As they had the early lead, Cubics. They had their opportunity, but they don't have that Tundra playstyle of sit back and let the other team come at you and try to keep them from scoring to win out the game. And I would like to see the Bobcats just keep that continuous pressure on offense, just keep scoring and keep trying to get those offensive points on. As if you sit back and let Tundra come at you, they are going to eventually get that ball through and into your net.
Absolutely. The Tundra's offense been looking very good, and the Bobcats has at times as well, but their consistency just isn't there with their pressure. And apparently their touches as well with that miss on the back end. And that's going to cause them to lose the pressure here. Unfortunate little set of circumstances. We'll see if they can get it out now.
And T-Man, I got to say, not the best series from him from what I've seen in terms of stats and things like that. Having a few rough misses and a few opportunities that just probably should be getting finished off earlier in the series, and a few touches that just aren't being made that should be being made. And oh my, Bobcats kind of fumbling around on their back line. T-Man's going to clear that away. But Kronos coming out is, I believe, was it Mikey who went in for him?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mikey is the AA sub. Oh, T-Man from distance finds the back of the net from midfield. What happened here? Oh, a bad touch from Stick ends up right in the midfield and nobody back for the Tundra to correct for it. And the wide open net is capitalized on by T-Man, and that's going to give the Bobcats a lead. We saw them get one last game. We'll see if they can do it again. But as you mentioned, Mikey in for Kronos. Mikey, a AA sub, their highest rated player on the sheets, and not looking out of place here necessarily in AAA, but Stick with a beautiful shot.
I feel like Mikey being in there is just a lot less mechanical than when Kronos was in for them. It felt like Kronos was able to threaten a lot of opportunities, but now Tundra tying it back up with about 10 seconds passing since that last goal. Bobcats get that early goal, but the defense again is just not able to keep that Tundra offense out, and it does have me worried a little bit with Kronos not able to be in there right now for the Bobcats, as he seems so lethal and so important to that team's offense and their play style.
Yeah, they looked a lot better in game 1, but the Tundra really figured them out since then. And have looked like the better team. They look like the 14-4 team up against a team who went even in the regular season at 9-9. They look like they deserve to win this game at this point. We'll see if that can come to fruition here.
Mike with the pass down. Great read from Team Man to be patient on that back wall to get the clear away, but Coffee there to get a great 50 back onto that defensive side. Stick. One thing I've seen with Stick is just not really having boost a lot of these times, but even when still going after the ball and still making challenges, being a presence on the field, which has to be so irritating for that Bobcat squad, because you got to think if he's pushing, he has to have boost surely, right? But at the same time, some of those plays have not quite benefited them as much as they'd hoped, but it seems to still be quite effective for the Tundra regardless of the costs of it. Oh, that's an awkward miss from Stick. Mike's going to be there to clear it away. No one with a quick shot. It's hard to quickly approach a ball like that, especially when you expect them to make that touch, but T-Man, it's a good touch over Mike and a good touch over another. Mikey's going to be there. Can't quite get... Okay, it does get a good pass to Marlev. That's going to be a shot. Just a little high as Mike's going to save it away. And now the Bobcats starting to get a little bit of offensive pressure now.
They are. They're looking good. And that touch from Mikey, very close to a double, but unfortunately couldn't hit it. But the Bobcats have been looking a little bit better. The defense has been looking a little bit more sound. Tundra not able to get the same kind of control over the ball that they were. Not able to get the same type of possession. Giving it away to the Bobcats a bit here. This actually a very good opportunity. Oh, what a 50 by Coffee. Can't quite capitalize on it, though, unfortunately. And the Bobcats going to break back out. Going to try and take the lead here on this possession. Oh, and they will, too. T-Man with a great play. Oh, what a save! Cursed it. I spoke too soon. That was a crazy save from the Tundra.
Everyone went on that back line almost just to save that one. And now, oh my, Mike almost just lofting one. It's going to go a little wide, but that's a great pass from Martev down to T-Man. It's going to be blocked away, though, in the midfield. Mike is up, going for the solo. Goes for the flip reset, gets 50. Coffee's there to put good pass, but Mike cannot quite reach it. It's a little out of his grasp. And now Bobcats stuck on their goal line again, and we've really seen a lot of consistent pressure once again from Tundra. But both teams this game only registering 4 shots, and T-Man is the only one for the Bobcats with shots.
Yeah, he has been their shooter kind of all series, but had some concerning individual plays, missing a little bit more than he should for a person in that role. The shot consistency and placement hasn't been up to par from what we've seen from him throughout the season. We'll see if he can kind of get that a little bit under control as this series continues on, but it could end here if they're not careful.
And just to air out, Mike has also been playing quite solid. I haven't really seen him make anything too detrimental. But Coffee has been popping off all series for Tundra as he's going to get a goal to give them the go-ahead 1-goal lead with 15 seconds left off the air dribble. My goodness.
He beat Mikey on that one, and that, I think, it comes down to the difference between AAA and AA. Just a little bit of a redirection there. Beats Mikey, not able to read that next touch. And that could be the goal that does in the Bobcats. That's a great touch by Mikey, though. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get much going here. That was very close, but Mike saving it away very well. And 0 seconds. The Bobcat season on the line. And it's over. Tundra win it in 5.
I will say, Cubics, you were right. We both were right about the team, but you were right about the series number. And a 4-1 for the Tundra. Very confident game coming through that lower bracket. They have not let a team take more than a game off them in a series, and they're really running through this lower bracket right now.
Yeah, they are making moves all series long and all playoffs long. They've been beating opponents very handily, and they do it once again here, taking them down in 5 games, making quick work of the Bobcats to advance into that loser's bracket final to play for 3rd place.
And really, this game kind of taking a little step back. Tundra increasing demos, but lowering the shots, but this time it didn't seem to matter too much as they were able to put in those 2. And now, looking ahead, they're going to have a 2 more a game left before they make it to the grand finals, and this is going to be a very big relief for them, knowing that they're keeping up their run and keeping this going. And I see it in the chat, a lot of people, big fans of Coffee. It's so fun to see a lot of people in the community just rooting for these players and really getting behind them and their game style.
Yeah, it's great to see the support for players in this league, especially somebody with the tenure of Coffee as well, looking very good. And we'll see if that goodness can match up to the team that waits for them in that losers bracket final, the Osprey. They were the ones to take out the Bobcats in the first round, but both teams, the Osprey and Tundra, both 4-1 the Bobcats. So could be a very even battle. That should be a fantastic game on Thursday night.
And I cannot wait to see these teams play, as Tundra just looking quite amazing, and I'd like to see the competition the Osprey put up against them, as I'm sure it's probably going to be a bit closer than this. I haven't seen Osprey play too much, but that is our AAA match for the middle match of our stream. We have one more match left to go, and that is going to be our Cougars versus Embers single A match. The Cougars, last time being on stream, reverse sweeping their way into the next round. Quite the thriller in my eyes, Cubics.
Definitely going to be a fun one. After the break, we'll be back in just a few minutes with that game. And yeah, we will see you soon. Hello and welcome back to RLPC for our last game of the night. The Cougars versus the Embers, a single A matchup that's going to decide who finishes fourth here in a league this season. I'm joined once again by Muskrat. This should be a fantastic contest. Cougars, one of the teams to watch, had a reverse sweep over the Pelicans last week, and are going to look to take that momentum into this game.
And definitely, Cougars having quite the great story coming into this game right now against the Embers. But Embers have been a pretty strong team throughout this playoffs as well, making it all the way here through that bracket in single A. And it's one of the things that's standing in the way of the Cougars right now. And I believe later on in the bracket, they have to play the Titans in the next round, and then the Ravens, who have looked quite unstoppable themselves. But Cougars, as we saw in the last stream, they were able to turn on quite and basically reverse sweep it, as we said, reverse sweep Pelicans, and no small feat is that, having to win 4 games in a row on a match point, and that's the kind of play you're going to need to have every game if you're going to play some of these top teams coming into the later half of this single A bracket.
Yeah, they have turned on the Jets recently and are going to look to continue at that roster. Of course, Gala, Kratos, Serial, and Dragon. Should be a very interesting matchup against the Embers, a team who we've seen all season be very good. That is Chef Speed, X, and Drax on that roster. Coming into this, the Embers, as you will see right about now, lost to the Titans in the first round, dropped down to the lower bracket, and made quick work of the Jesters, who upset the Wranglers in that lower bracket, round 1 in 7. Embers making quick work of them. Going to come here with quite a bit of confidence to take on the Cougars, looking for that rematch up against the Titans. Cougars need to wait a little while in order to get that rematch up against the Ravens. They'd have to beat the Embers tonight and the Titans on Thursday in order to make it to finals week next week. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup. But tonight we have one of our own, Embers Cougars. Should be a fun one. Embers, coming into the playoffs, won the Elements division with an 11-7 record. The Cougars won the Predator with a 10-8. So both fairly evenly matched teams coming into this.
And looking at that bracket, you see all of single A, the top 4 teams who are in the upper bracket that won their divisions are all the 4 teams that are left in the entire bracket that is left right now. And with the Cougars and Embers, looking at their score lines, the Embers seeming to have a bit of an edge right now in terms of their wins and what they have done in this playoffs, as Cougars had to reverse sweep Pelicans. Not a situation you want to find yourself in quite a lot, so hopefully they start out a lot harder this series and keep up with the Embers, because the Embers, they did not let the Jesters even take a game. So reverse sweep potential against this Embers team is definitely lower than it was against those Pelicans. And now, moving on even in further in that bracket, as you said, Titans, Ravens, both those teams having great seasons and looking quite amazing, and also just kind of dominating their way to the finals, or their spots at least. Ravens taking down the Titans. But in this matchup between Cougars and Embers, I am looking for the Cougars to start off a lot earlier than they did in the last series they played, as I believe the Embers are definitely not going to start it slow, as they didn't last time they played.
Fun to note that this season the Embers have taken every game that they've played over the Cougars. That was a week or two, I believe 2 weeks before playoffs that game happened. So a little bit more recent than we saw in the last series, but that 3-0 coming in hot for the Embers. See what I did there? And hopefully they can stay hot after the Jesters sweep as well. Cougars won 4 games in a row as well. So both these teams on 4-game individually winning streaks, not series, but this could be very, very interesting here as we get ready to go. We got one of our teams in here waiting on the Embers to hop into the lobby, but they do have a few minutes, and we do as well. But before we get into that, got to give our predictions as well. Muskrat, what you thinking?
You know, I want to take the Cougars, but that reverse sweep, it does not give me very much confidence in their starting and their finishing. I mean, they finished that series, but the Embers are not the Pelicans, and I definitely think I'm going to say the Embers are going to take this in 6. The Cougars are going to put up a fight, but I think it's going to be a little too late for them, as the Embers are going to be able to overcome whatever comes at them, and they're going to move themselves on to play the Titans after this series.
I am going to be extraordinarily boring and agree with you. I think it is going to be Embers in 6, but these teams are fairly evenly matched, but I think the Embers just have a little bit more momentum behind them. They took 2 games off of the Titans as well in the upper bracket and looking very good there, and then come down, get the hot 4-0 over a team who upset one of the other better teams in the league, and the Cougars, on the other hand, 4-1 by the Ravens. Still the only team that's taken a game off them here in the playoffs, but then having to reverse sweep the Pelicans. I mean, it feels good in the moment, but like looking back, it's like, we should have won that a little bit easier, but they are going to try and keep up that presence here today. But as for players to watch today, I think I'm going to have to go with Gala here for the Cougars in the regular season. Had almost a goal a game, had the second best assists per game on his team for the starting roster, and over a save per game as well. Looking very good for the Cougars all around, and definitely one of the strikers that they'll count on, especially as their captain as well.
And Gala and Kratos holding very similar goal ratios to each other, 61 and 59. Those are my 2 players that really need to start off hot for Cougars as well. But looking back at the Ember side, looking at Chef Speed, X, and Drax, X has the most series played for this team with goals and stuff, but the spread across all of them is pretty close besides him. So I'm definitely looking to see X probably come in with a lot of the majority of games and a lot more consistency with his teammates, and hopefully their low series played together does not affect the gameplay all that much, as they have made it here. So I expect this Embers team to be very strong in their performance regardless of their stat line.
Yeah, one of the other things, one of the other stories this season that we've been following quite closely is the power of Chef, formerly Xenitas, one of the best players in all of Independent last season, arguably the X factor for that Grizzlies team, and now they find themselves as the leading MMR member of the Embers, putting up a 0.9 goals per game, but following that with the best assists per game on either team by a wide margin at a 0.87, absolutely feeding the rest of that squad, and it shows with Speed and X both at over 0.9 goals per games for each of them, as the other 2 expected members of these teams, and they have been looking very good on that shooting side as well. But definitely good to have a offensive player, with kind of a double-faceted attack. They can pass, but they can also shoot, and the defense not lacking either, above a 1.25 saves per game for Chef as well, and that should be a very interesting match.
And
they're in too. So we are going to get this thing started pretty soon.
Chat, would like to hear your predictions as well. I'd like to see a Coug for the Cougars and a EMB for the Embers. I want to see all those chat members getting involved predicting this series. Put your games in as much as possible, but we're going to get this series started quite soon as all players are in. Apparently, X is playing with a controller that is not working, so this is going to be very interesting, as if he starts popping off with this, there's not going to be really any excuse for why he's doing so well. But if that is a problem, we might have to wait just a little bit.
All right, we will see. It looks like, indeed,
looks like they're joining with the broken controller.
A keyboard warrior. So I think we got a little KBM action here for the side of the Embers. Zek's going to be playing on that. I myself am a keyboard man. Oh my, Zen. Right away, Chef off to a great start for the Embers, almost hitting that double tap. But yeah, I myself am a keyboard warrior, so good to see some keyboard love here for this Ember squad, and hopefully that doesn't affect his play all that much. This one's gonna be clear.
And
Especially
especially
if
if
he's
he's
some good stuff going on already.
especially if he's an experienced player as well, Cubics and keyboard and mouse. But even though most players know controller master race in Rocket League, it's just the way it is. But we always see a lot of keyboard players impressing and showing off their capabilities. And right now, both teams really have the score, or keeping the score line even right now. We saw the Embers with that double at the start, trying to start off really hot as we saw in the last series, and Cougars keeping them on pace and keeping them slowed down right now, which is good for them. They don't want to let Embers get an early series lead like they did the Pelicans in the last series, so it's a good start for the Cougars as well.
Yeah, they've been looking good, gotten some pressure going here, and not allowed many shots, if any, from the Embers so far, but man, you can tell already Chef feeling the mechanics has put a bunch of that on display here today. Drax can't get the tip. Serial almost fooled by it in net too. So we'll see if they can get it here as the Embers trying to make something happen on offense.
A lot of pop-ups for the Embers. They really like taking that aerial route. Reminds me of a team in my league, like the Wizards, really popping that ball up in the air and being very threatening with their aerial plays. And Cougars doing very well to defend it, making touches that they need to stall out that offense. That's a Kratos almost able to beat the whole line on the net, but it's gonna be saved away by 2 players from the Embers. Now, the Embers back on that offensive side, but both teams not really maintaining any consistent pressure throughout either. And X is going to clear that to the corner and get a second touch to make sure that... Oh, but it doesn't matter. Serial's going to put in the first goal of the series for the Cougars.
That's very clean. Good pickup here off X's missed touch, and a quick double there. Finds the angle past the defender, and that's a very nice little self-pass off the backboard, and the Cougars have found a lead.
And this is the kind of hot start we wanted to see from the Cougars from their last series. Not having slow start, getting an early lead. Let's see if they can maintain it, but as I say it, Drax is there to prove me wrong off the assist from X. It is now tied 1-1.
Let's see if they can keep it. And the Embers putting an exclamation point on their no and taking that lead right back. A beautiful double tap, and Drax putting work in already to tie this thing back up for the Embers.
Anti-predictions, that's what we do here. We tell people what they're going to do, and then it never... Oh my, Chef. Really dishing something up for the crowd off that one. Oh, Drax couldn't quite get the touch to put the shot on. X trying to go for a double, but my goodness, the mechanics of this Embers team is very impressive, and that is a great pass from Drax. They take the 1-goal lead now as the Embers are going to be up 2-1.
Drax with a beautiful double tap pass, and Chef cheating up very nicely to tap that in as easy as you like. Embers find a goal lead here, and we'll see if they can hold it. The keyboard warrior and X looking good.
And the mechanics really just keep using those mechanics, and it just keeps being quite the problem for the Cougars, as now we've seen a couple times these mechanics just be so useful to get the ball around like 1 to 2 players from that side. And Kratos is going to beat that, but Chef is there to clear it back to the blue half. Going to get a pinch or a fifth or touch, I mean, doubling off the corner, but it's going to be cleared away by the Cougars. Gala kind of been a little not as quite consistent as we've seen him. Seen a little bit subpar to what we've seen in other games. Serial going to air dribble this back to his side. Not necessarily the best of plays, but it's what you got to do when your team isn't quite in a position where you can force the ball forward or get a touch forward. So there's a good way to stall time. That's a great touch off the back wall. It's going to beat one. Drax gets a clear middle. Chef going for that squishy save. Is going to make contact. But as a minute coming in, Cubics, the Cougars really need a goal here.
The Cougars absolutely do. They've been stuck in their own half for quite a bit here, and I'd like to see them get some consistent offensive pressure here. They haven't spent a whole lot of time in the last minute and a half or so on that orange end, and when they do, it's been in stints of 10, maybe 12 seconds. That might not matter! The whiff! Oh no, he missed it wide! That was their chance, that double! Oh my goodness, Gala!
What on earth? Off the ceiling.
Where is
ball,
he?
the shot
What?
goes through.
Calculated.
That is insane.
Oh my
right, tied up
goodness.
2-2 now. 35 seconds left. The Cougars bring it back in the most, I would say, flashy and scary way possible. Not really knowing what was going on there, Cubics, but now Cougars back in the spot they want to be, which is tied up without the Embers. But they're on offense again, which is a little dangerous here. And a good goal for Gala, too, to get himself into this series as well. Might instill some good confidence in him to come out and make a lot more of these insane touches and score a lot more goals that we've seen from him. But the clock is ticking down now, and it looks like overtime is looming. We've had a few of these today, Cubics.
Yes, we have. Man, that goal is either the best calculated goal off the ceiling or the largest gift I've ever seen the Rocket League gods give. I'd have to watch the replay to see if Gala was actually trying to hit that shot. Oh, might not matter. He almost ends it right there. A beautiful play. That's saved away by the Embers. And now they're, after that miracle goal, going to have to try and find another.
And Gala really starting to find his footing in this series now, taking two good shots right one after another now. That one goal really seems to have opened up his confidence. And definitely going to pay dividends for this Cougars team. That's a great pass, but there were three guys challenging that ball, and it almost seemed like it was definitely not going to happen as Chef going for a pinch off the wall. Doesn't quite get the most power out of it that he wants. But right now, the Embers surviving a Cougars attack and definitely going to be happy about that.
Whew. Got a very close touch. A very nice tip. If not to shoot, just to get possession here for the Embers. And they can now try to look dangerous. But this one's cleared right back out by the Cougars. And their clearances have been very good in this overtime so far. Had a lot of time on this orange half, but when the ball has been in that blue half, they've found ways to get it out. That shot going to be just in? Drax finding one from midfield, and the Embers take game one. What happened here? Oh, over Kratos. Oh my goodness.
X says keyboard and mouse not treating him well, as Drax is going to put an overtime dagger in for the Embers. A calculated shot off the pinch pass from Chef and X. Straight to him, a laser beam to the back, and that is going to be a good finish for the Embers now, taking that first game.
That is a huge win for them to come back and take that game. It's got to instill a lot of confidence in this team as X going for that card change. And 450 points, saying keyboard not treating him well. He's looking good so far. Maybe not an offensive threat, but hey, he's been looking good regardless.
Cougars also getting those 5 demos, and it's been a little bit of help for them reducing that pressure from the Embers, but at the same time the Embers are out shooting them only by about 2, but it was just enough to edge out this game, and Cougars not quite getting dominated per se, but they're really needing to maintain these games, or at least get a good lead to where they can hold it or something and not keep these games so close together, as it seems that the Embers right now have really got some good ice and some really good smart plays coming out of the back, just taking that shot, knowing that the rotations are coming from the Cougars to try to get back, and Drax just beaming that powerful shot on.
Yeah, that just an unfortunate set of circumstances of the Cougars. They thought they had some control where they really did not, and it ended up in their net. But we'll see if they can regain here in game number 2.
Chaos pinch equals a chaos goal, and definitely wasn't expecting a pinch pass there. I know I wasn't, but that shot was nothing but perfect for them. And now heading into this game, we're looking to see what the Cougars, if they bounce back or not. We really don't want to see them go down 2, don't even want to see them go down 3, to be honest, in this game. or in this series, I mean. But that's a good hit off the wall from Kratos down. Let me cleared away by Drax. It's gonna get bumped by Kratos as well. Those demos and bumps have been a bit of a focus a little bit that first game for Cougars. Maybe circumstantial as well, but if they can find the right times for him, then it could be a very big benefit to their offense. So there's one in the net. I heard it, but the shot was a little late and wasn't quite able to be quite as. Oh, Chef with the corner bang! It just barely. Oh, and it goes in. Oh. Embers get a 1-goal lead now in game 2 as that bounces off the corner.
Oh, Kratos putting it in. That's just unfortunate. Again, another demo goes by for the Cougars. That's 6 now in the last 2 games. And they haven't been making the most of them. They're playing physical, but much like we saw in the last series, just not at the right times. And I think they're going to have to get these demos and really make use of them because they're playing physical enough. It's just they're not being physical when they need to be, and they're being physical when they don't need to be, and it's sometimes throwing them out of position.
And this is something that is very worrying, Cubics, is the Embers are starting to get a long offensive stay on the Cougars half now, as they've won a couple of 50s close to that net. It's got to be something worrying, and definitely a panic moment for, I would say, the Cougars on that back end for that first goal. Just not really in a good spot to make a save. Already jumping for the first one, expecting a hard shot. Kratos almost having the pinch to the net, but it's just going to bounce up and be saved away by the Embers. But that might be in! Oh, Serial's going to put in and tie it up at 3:27.
That is a very nasty bump off the wall. Came down, got a little clip, I think. And that was it. A wonderful play.
X, I think, showing us what keyboard and mouse can do to you if you're not used to playing on it consistently. And right there, it just seemed like X might have had either a mispress on a button that he thought would do something different, or just not quite reading that ball correctly. But either way, now being tied up, that's a good fake. Drax is going for the double, running out of boost though, not gonna be able to follow up anything after. It's gonna be a push down from X, but there's a Cougars player waiting there now. And Cougars doing a great job of stilling this offense of the Embers right now. Oh my, that was close call for the Embers, but in a bit of almost a 2v1, but moving slow enough to where a Cougars player could get back now. And looking to see who really is going to take a hold of this game too. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Gala with a great shot to put in for the Cougars as the Embers caught too far up this time. That's going to be a 1-goal lead with 2:30 left, and the Cougars taking another lead.
I don't know what happened there. The defense was just where they're just ghosts. They were not available, not interested in playing defense apparently. And that quick transition. Okay, that could be one back. It will be. X needing a couple because KBM coming in a little bit unfortunate here for him, but able to get it eventually after a couple of 50s. But that transition play not good. A bad first touch there at midfield, and the Cougars lose their lead almost as quickly as they got it.
And keyboard and mouse maybe making it a little awkward for him, but the brain's definitely still there, as making the smart play there to just be patient on that, noticing that awkward touches come out for the Cougars, and just really taking advantage of the mistake that had happened. And now, one person not staying too involved in this game, a little bit more now so, was Kratos, not really getting too many in-depth plays in, but now the Cougars are getting on offense here, but X is going to take control. That's open. Oh, Gala, I think if he put it bottom right, Cubics, he was probably going to get a goal there, but the shot's toward the middle, and it's going to be saved by the Embers.
Ooh, there's a good demo. The respawn going to come in, though, and they're still in rotation and in position. Cougars, once again, unable to take advantage of a demo. I think we've seen them get at least 7+ demos and not been able to use any single one of them to really cause a goal. It's been other opportunities like that, the double tap almost going for the Cougars to have them take the lead.
And both teams I've noticed have had some awkward moments, like on their backside. Like Embers, it seems to be on their back line, and for the Cougars, it just seems to be individual moments where, like, one of their players just not expecting a read or a touch to come out the way it does. But Embers just seem very uncomfortable when it comes to being on their back line when the ball is moving around in ways they're not quite sure where it's going with the Cougars offense. And demos might be a big part of that. Really, this Embers rotation might be that delicate that whenever they get a demo, they don't really know if they can push or if they can, or if who's defending what. It really makes you question a lot of things. So for the Cougars in that regard, it might be benefiting them a little bit. But that is a good shot from X. Just can't quite get it on the mark over a defender for the Cougars. And with 35 seconds left now, Cubics, both teams are tied up, and it looks like we are coming close to another overtime.
Last time we were in Aquadome, we did see an overtime. I wonder if we'll get it again. That actually a very nice play. Ember's not able to take advantage, though. X with the play in the corner. That's a great shot. Just can't quite get it on target. Chef having to reach up for an awkward ball off the backboard. I like this play developing for the Cougars, but it's tapped back out by the Embers, and now they'll have the final chance here. Oh, what a shot! Oh! Chef with the zero-angle shot over the backboard. Hold up. What is this? X with the pass. Oh, my God. Chef. You cannot do that. That defies the laws of gravity and physics and Rocket League.
Decision making. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
And the Embers take it in dramatic fashion.
Game 2 is theirs as they now take a 2-0 lead in the series, Cubics. A insane finish to that game, avoiding the overtime. I had to say something, and of course, they have to do the caster curse, prove you wrong. And just like that now, the Cougars in a 2-0 deficit to the Embers, who are looking very hot. Chef is playing out of his mind this series. Once again, the mechanical ability just on display.
What the flip just happened? That was insane. I don't know if I've ever seen a shot like that. And through traffic? That's got to make it onto our highlight reel for this next season, I swear to God. Oh, man. I'm lost for words. The Cougars got dominated that game in terms of possession and shots, and Embers were really able to make the most of the possession that they had. But, man, when you have a player that can just chef, period, just, yeah, how do you beat that if you're the Cougars? How do you beat that?
I think that if you're the Cougars in this situation, you really need to start getting everyone involved. Kratos not really getting anywhere past that 200 mark, and it seems to be a bit of a trend from these last couple games. And the Cougars going down 2-0, we saw them reverse sweep, and they're looking close to being in that position right now. And it's not a position you definitely want to be in, as we keep saying, but Chef, I mean, we saw him on the replay, or even before that. He literally ran ahead just for that play because he knew he had to be up there for a chance. And just taking that chance and taking it at like 0 seconds, no matter what, so hard to predict and so hard to just stop.
So hard to stop. You can't predict a shot like that at any level. And oh no. Oh. Gala with the miss, and Chef gonna get another one here. That is unfortunate.
And great passes and nice shots ringing out.
Super awkward.
Gala, an unfortunate miss in the back, getting a big clear from the Embers now, and starting this game off 1-0. That last second goal really giving the Embers some momentum, and Chef and another player also getting a demo. Really gonna throw off this Cougars rotation, but they're back on offense and pass the ball. A double commit comes out for the Embers as well. But Cougars, they really need to get this game. This is one they have to win right now, because being down 2-0, you cannot go down 3-0 right now, because this team, the Embers team, they're with Chef being as pop-off and as amazing as he's been. Oh my gosh, Chef just placing it perfect, back left. My goodness, the Embers 2-0.
They just dissected both players of the Cougars defense, found the one spot that they weren't, and poof, that's a goal for the Embers, and they take a 2-0 lead here, just like they did in the series after that last game. And the Cougars had a golden opportunity. There was a double commit by the Embers that we called out, and then the next ball was another double commit by one of the players that double committed before and the other player that didn't. Meaning all three players ended up in about the same position for the Embers, and the Cougars didn't capitalize on it. And I think that's got to change. You have to take these opportunities and absolutely run with them. Like misses like that, you have to make this into a really good possession here.
Ooh. Oh, works out anyway.
Not for very long.
I say Kratos having an awkward jump, but seemed to almost work out for them. But Cougars staying a little bit on the offensive side right now, but the Embers chef this game now is just going for some crazy things, like just making insane touches. Let's see if he gets this read here, but Gala is going to take that off the backboard quite handily and put that away. A good 50 as well on the wall. But that's an open chance for a shot, but Chef is not going to quite get as much power on it as we've seen before. And Cougars back on that defensive side. Good pass to Gala. Pass up to Serial.
And what a pass!
Oh, what a save from Chef. My goodness, just doing it on both ends of the field right now. And another player, Chef up, almost able to put that one in. It's going to go above the crossbar, and these Embers are hot, Cubics, literally and figuratively.
I see what you did there. But yeah, it's all Chef right now. He is making reads that I think you'd see more in like GC2, GC3 than where these guys are at. And the angles that he's finding are just supreme here. X almost finding the angle into his own net, unfortunately, but he'll be able to clear it down here.
He's going for the cross map pinch.
Definitely. But the Cougars have absolutely stalled out on offense here. They got to get something going.
Definitely not looking as good as they have in the last two games, which is very worrying moving further into the series, because we wanted them to start hot, and now they're down. And they haven't played bad, but this game they've been getting beaten a lot more than the last few, and that's just going to go in, and Drax is going to steal it at the end after passing it to X, not letting the KBM player get his goal for the game. And I believe that puts Drax at 1, Chef at 2 right now, all goals assisted. And X saying Drax is a rat, definitely indeed. Oh,
and
no.
he's gonna get another one. Oh, the rat moment. Here it continues. This man. That's a great kickoff from X, though, to kill it. And Drax with a very close follow. Gonna be able to put it in the back of the net, and Embers go up 4-0 here with 1:35 left. The Cougars have fallen flat.
Oh, no. Don't do it again. Okay, Drax is going to get bumped off there. Oh, Gala tries to clear it away, but X is there this time to get his goal, and now the Embers just keep piling it on like ash from a volcano, falling to the ground. They just keep pouring these goals on this Cougars defense, and they do not have an answer.
Cougars starting to look more and more like Pompeii as this series continues here. And the Embers looking very, very good. Scoring at will at this point, especially off the kickoffs, they're looking phenomenal.
The one good thing that the Cougars do have in their back pocket is that they have done a reverse sweep before, so maybe this is what they wanted. Maybe they wanted to give the overconfidence to the Embers as X puts in his second of the game, and they want to come back and show that they're actually way better than this gameplay right now, and especially in Game 3. It's very unfortunate for the Cougars as well. We've seen them playing so much better, so much more consistent in the first two, but now Embers are just all over them and just absolutely wrecking havoc on their defense. Oh, that's a poor clear attempt from there, and Drax just getting 52 players by jumping once and using a little bit of boost. Kratos is done with this and takes that ball off of an Embers player on the ceiling. This is a good chance for a shot, but not going to be enough power to really put anything dangerous on the net. Kratos, big pass middle, but it's going to be met in the air for 50. Serial's back. But, man, they're all starting to just run across the field chasing this ball, and it's it's not what you want to see. Is Drax is going to get the hat trick with that one. 7-0 in game number 3. This is looking to start being very one-sided, Cubics, in this series, especially now, as we're definitely seeing the Embers take this match, and it's going to be 3-0, and the Cougars have to reverse sweep again for the second time in the playoffs.
Oh my God!
Gosh, Chef. This guy is insane.
What? Oh, goodness gracious. This is just demoralizing at this point for the Cougars. Goodness.
And now, looking at the gameplay from the Embers in this game, I gotta be thinking, like, if they keep this up, they're looking at upsetting teams like Titans and Ravens if they can play this amazing and this great in their series. But they have to finish this one off, and they have to be able to finish their last game.
8-1! 8-1!
And the Cougars finally scoring in this game. Serial gets the pass off the wall. Gala to finish it off. And just going to be a bit of a momentum booster for the next one. Hopefully a little bit of a confidence gain, saying we can score, but they've really got to fix up the defensive side of the ball right now.
Oh, they wanted the Barca. They wanted the Barca. An 8-2, but couldn't quite get it off the kickoff. But the Embers looking incredible. Like, they had as many goals as the Cougars had shots, and the Cougars had 8 shots, which is not low. So this, I don't know how you recover from this if you're the Cougars at this point.
2 hat tricks for the Embers, 2 playmakers for the Embers, and Chef also adds 3 saves to it just as well to get 3s across the board in all categories for them. And right now, even getting 4 demos in that Ember, just dominating in all facets of the game, every category, not really giving the Cougars a chance, even with the 8 shots they had put up on the board.
Yeah, they didn't have the offensive consistency throughout that game, regardless of how many goals the Embers put in. You can't really, at this point in the series, be going 1 goal for 8 shots. That's just too many shots and not enough capitalization on the chances that you've got. And their season could be coming to an end pretty quickly here if we don't see a drastic change. It also looks like we are going to be getting the sub in here. Dragon for Kratos.
And this could be the kind of switch up the Cougars need to throw a little kink in the Embers gameplay, but at the same time, they have a lot of ground to cover once again, as X is going to take a quick shot right off the start. Chef going for the double read off the wall. It's going to be cleared away off the backboard, but as we saw in the last game, this Embers team is very hot on the field and off the offensive side of the ball, and this much space to Chef, I don't know if you could really give him that much space. Someone needs to be able to get on him and keep him from being able to have a lot of time to do whatever he wants with that ball, because that's one of the biggest problems. Chef has been a thorn in the side for the Cougars this whole series and that last game. Oh! Good fake from Gala to get the assist to Serial. The Cougars are going to start this game off with a 1-goal lead.
They absolutely needed that X. Just a little bit of a keyboard moment, I think, there on the side. And that's going to, unfortunately, for the Embers, be the first goal of this game. I have no doubt they'll regain here at some point. But the Cougars starting to get a little bit of momentum on their side. They got the last goal in that last game, and now they get the first goal of this one. Regardless if it was 8-1, they ended up winning, if you will, the last 30 seconds of that game, almost putting in another one on the kickoff as well. So if you're the Embers, you've been scored on twice in a row, maybe 3 if there was an extra half second on that clock. You gotta be a little bit worried. You gotta get a goal here pretty quickly, I think, in order to get that confidence back.
You know, I don't feel like the Embers have too much to worry about. Much like, even though we said this in the Pelicans-Cougars series last time, Pelicans, when they were up 3-0, didn't have much to worry about. But I don't think the Embers, if they are playing lax, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for them, as Chef seems to be playing at his most insane when he's relaxed and just very confident. That's going to be a great touch from Drax to get the goal and tie it up. And now we are back 1-1, and Gala with the what a saves. Unfortunate for both of them. Just not quite being able to read the touch from Drax on the field. And now, tied up, the Cougars have to basically start again and get back that lead that they had.
They do.
Oh my.
The Cougars had a lead. They got to continue. We saw them reverse sweep once. They're using the fun meta. Having fun. Hopefully that'll allow them to take all the pressure off here in the last 4 games. At this point, they internally know that this will be their last game of the season. But realistically, it's definitely not over yet. We've seen the Cougars do it once. My goodness, if they make the loser bracket final, that would be a momentous occasion after reverse sweeping twice. And it started here last time. We'll see if they can start it here again.
I definitely don't think I could see it, Cubix. It'd be such a hard feat to do just to go back and win 4 straight games, especially against this Ember squad who, watching last stream, oh my, the pass play from Gala to, oh my, who was it? Serial? Pre-jumping? Insane. Oh my, Drax with the flip reset. Serial gonna save that away. But my goodness, right now, both these teams kind of firing off some pretty good shots at each other and creating some good opportunities. It's been a lot closer than the last game, which is what we were hoping to see. That's a good shot, but it's not going to go in. Chef waiting on the wall, waiting for that Chef pop-out this game as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's how we're going to get the last goal here for the Embers, or at least their next goal. It's going to be a Chef pop-off, because we've seen it time and time again. It's predictable at this point that he's going to have an absolute clanger.
And also, X changing the drift button on that earlier goal must have changed it to spacebar, because thought he was going to jump, but instead did not jump. But now, hasn't been that much of a hindrance now, switching over. It's maybe the Embers maybe have been not playing at their what they think is their highest potential, but they have had a great showing throughout this entire series, regardless of the difficulties they're facing outside of the game.
Yeah, they've looked good in here for sure.
Serial clears it down. There's only a minute left now, and looking to see if we are going to get another overtime today or not. But surely, with how these games have gone, someone is going to get a goal here before the end of time. But that is barely going to go out. And now Embers doing a great job of playing around the Cougars as well. And Chef trying to set up Drax. That's going to be open if he can get it on target, but the angle was just too far to the side. Not really had a good chance at taking a great shot.
That a very close one, but Chef cutting off that ball in front of X. That one's off the crossbar and out. Oh, that shot's going in though. Gala scores to keep their hopes alive.
And Cougars getting a much-needed end-time goal, which is not something they've really had. They had an overtime tire, or a goal that sent them to overtime, but that is something they have not had, is a goal right before the end of time to take a lead and hopefully seal a game for themselves. But Drax is up, not much boost. That's a 50, and Serial's going to clear it away, but it's still up in the air. We'll see if the Embers can keep it up and maybe do a 0-second goal here. That's a good flick.
Oh.
But no touch coming out from Drax to put it above the ground, and now the Cougars get their first game win after losing 3. And they start their reverse sweep run.
A Dragon with all 33 points in that game, but they win it anyway.
But they won.
Yes. I have noticed that the audio's bugged, so I'll fix that at the end of this game. But yeah, that's a very much needed win here. But yeah, 33 points. That is no lie. The Cougars were playing with basically 2 players that game, and they made it work regardless. And the fun meta coming in, and hey, seems to be working.
And Dragon Ball's being this, I'm not sure how much time he's had with the team, but it definitely has thrown a little kink in the Embers' attack on them, as seeing whatever is going on with the Cougars in this rotation, with this roster right now, has kind of slowed down the Ember's attack, which is what they exactly needed for the series, as the last game got really out of hand. And now, looking forward, they gotta keep up this, keep up what they're doing right now. Keep up their defense, not letting the Embers have a lot of good offensive chances, and they also gotta keep their defense tight and secure to keep that Embers offense shut down.
Yeah, we'll see if that that offense can get shut down once again.
It looks like we're having a little bit of a pause for a second.
X's game crash. There you go. That's it. So he'll be loading up and getting back into the lobby ASAP. But yeah, F's in the chat for X's game and controller. If you put them together, it's an FF, but nobody's forfeiting today.
Now this is something the Cougars didn't have to face the last time they played the Pelicans, was a pause right after the their first game win. So might be hearing some Ember strategy coming out to see how to approach this team. But at the same time, they might just be waiting for X to come back as soon as possible so they can get this game started and try to take it in dominating fashion as they have for most of the series.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get back to that that same fashion that they've been playing with and the same fire that they've been playing with all series in this game. As it looks like we are ready to go. Yes, here we go.
Now, getting into Game 5. Cougars getting a game back to start their reverse sweep run, but it's a long run for them as they're going to have to beat through the pop-off potential of Chef, Drax, and X. All insane players and have been great throughout this series. Be hard to see any of them not playing up to that standard, at least for one of these last remaining 3 games that they have.
Yeah, the reverse sweep, I mean, while it's in the cards, the skill level that the Embers are showing today, even with just Shep, okay, oof. Maybe not just Shep, no, oh no, oh no!
What?
Oh, okay, that was a sequence and a half here. So, X with the touch off the wall, not a good one, gets bumped by Chef up in the air. X then bumps Drax out of the way from the save that he would have had, and the Cougars get a goal out of 2 team bumps in the span of about 3 seconds. So, yeah, unfortunate for the Embers, but I'm sure they'll be able to get things back under control.
And you really like to see the chemistry from the Embers. They're able to link up with each other literally by bumping, and definitely not the best way of playing Rocket League, but it is a way. But right now it's looking like the way to lose as they're down by 1 to the Cougars, and Gala gonna take control of that ball, almost dribbling past the entire team, but it's gonna get stopped by 2 Embers players. Drax clears across the field. A demo rings out, gonna be taking X off the field. But right now, Cougars looking a bit more comfortable than they were earlier in the season. Oh.
And they do. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh, no! Dragon! Oh, he missed it.
That is one you gotta make.
Missed it. This is indeed Rocket League X. And things like that just happen sometimes. I think he had just like a controller DC for like a split second, you know. That's all it was, right? Not just a complete mental lapse on the goal line in an elimination game. No, couldn't be Dragon.
It's one of those moments where you just, oh yeah, this is easy, and then, oh, I missed. And it's just absolutely detrimental for the team now, and that's going to be a big thing for the Embers now, as they're getting back into this game, and they're tied it up, and they got a lot of time to get their offense going. But that is a great beat from Dragon Balls, but it's not quite in. It's Drax waiting to see if he should go for it or not. Try Ops to, but Chef up in the air where he's been dangerous all series. That's a great air dribble over 1, and Chef picking up where he left off in Game 3. An air dribble over the Cougars. Chef is insane.
Chef is insane. The ability to get over or stay with that ball for as long as he did. Goodness gracious, that's wonderful.
And the chat, people getting a little excited, but it's not quite over yet, as the Cougars have had opportunities to come back in these series as well, but right now they're going to need to not make those mistakes that they were making earlier. As being down by 1, it would only be a tied game if they were able to capitalize on that first goal that the Embers got, but now they find themselves in a hole that they have to dig out of.
do. No strangers to that in the series or in these playoff games as well, considering that reverse sweep. And we'll see if they can make something happen here. They got about half a game left, only down by 1. This is a great transition opportunity here with only X back. Yeah, but some mistouches. The center completely thwart that opportunity and almost goes back the other way.
Great transition backwards.
Oh, Chef
almost.
doing things again.
Oh my Chef! And that's a chance. It's open, but Drax can't quite put it in. But the follow-up from X just not quite able to get the read to get a hard enough shot to put it in. And the Cougars gonna get away with one right there. And now, really want to capitalize off of that after having that defensive lapse being forgiven by the Embers. And they still need one, so they're going to need to get back on their offense as well, as that's a big pick. I just said triple in, but Serial. Oh! Oh my, Serial with the pitch to the own goal.
Oh man. Play. Absolute gift from the Rocket League. Oh, the pinch right down. And it's a perfect dribble into his own net from X, and we have a tie game somehow.
And the Rocket League gods seem to be on the Cougars' side at this moment in time. As, Drax barely able to get up for that and take it away. But the pressure of the Cougars now is starting to pick up a little bit, but they're going to lose possession of that ball now, as X is going to take it up the wall and beat Gala. Chef is already up, going for a double. Can't quite get the second touch, but Drax is left to try to beat one. Almost gets the touch over, but a good read from Dragon Balls to get up for that in time. But looking at it now, the Cougars look to be not very high on the boost. And Embers, good pass middle, but no one's there to receive that can go, as double commit happens out of the corner. Good pass downfield. Dragon Balls with a shot. That's going to give them a 1-goal lead now with 50 seconds left.
That is huge. Great little two-man passing play here, and you could tell already based on the positioning of Chef and X on the defense that there was going to be a hole in that net, and he found it and scores. And the Cougars making moves. Oh, the fake kickoff from the Embers though could work out in their favor.
Puts that ball in the Cougars' half right now. Serial not going to be able to get to that one, but Embers really trying to just beat the Cougars to these touches, but Cougars are just getting the touch that they need at the right time. But that's a big touch.
Clear.
I think it was X. Gets a open goal off a touch on his defensive side. The aggressive positioning from the Cougars really costing them there. With only 30 seconds left, they didn't have to be that aggressive right there, Cubics.
They didn't at all, and they went all in on a play when they were up and caused them to have some holes on the defensive end, and that's going to be the tie game here for the Embers. We'll see if they can make anything happen here in the dying moments of this game, trying to get it in regulation, not have to go to OT. Oh, the Embers are really pushed up here. This could be good. Oh, the demo is huge.
Touch around his teammate, though. Looks like overtime is looming here in this Game 5 right now, Cubics, as we do head to overtime now. Both these teams tied up. Have we had overtimes in this series? I think we have had at least one, and so. The Embers took it. Or, no, they iced it before, but now looking to ice it here in overtime. That was a great double from Chef to set up his team with an offensive possession. X with the pop-up is not going to be available for anyone. And another touch. A couple of misses coming out from the Embers as well. Gala trying to get the air dribble pinch. Going to get a softer one, but not the best. There's a lot of open space right now between the Cougars and Embers field, but not quite able to capitalize with the Embers.
That is a really good center. Chef up for it. Puts it just wide. He's allowed to have one miss after the series that he has had. Leaving that ball, maybe not the best idea here, as the Embers find themselves just trying to just hold on.
Dragon not really able to get the touch off the ceiling there. Looks like he was trying to go for that flip reset, but not quite able to read it off the ceiling. Very hard to do, especially at this level. But the Cougars have had so much more offensive pressure now toward the second half of this game, and the Embers really, at this point, trying to get out of this series as soon as they can, because it seems the more the Cougars are playing in this series, the better they are getting. Chef's going to be up for that early. Get back to it. Going to go for a bump. Isn't going to make contact on the player.
That was closer than I needed to be.
X barely making the save, getting a slight touch off his car, and the Cougars back on offense once again.
Oh man, that's a really good clear. The Embers have some space, some time, some players up, and the pressure waiting. Chef there, going for the double to end it. Puts it wide. Oh, the Embers just cannot buy a goal right now.
And right now, Chef really had lots of...
No!
Oh, that's going to be in! And the Cougars are going to take Game 5 and get themselves 2 wins in this series now. And it's starting to look even more likely that the reverse sweep is definitely coming to fruition for them.
Oh boy, we are going to Game 6. We're going to see Neo Tokyo for the first time today.
That's what I predicted. I need this.
We'll see if they can do it. We both took Embers in 6, so hey, it could be good for our predictions if they do end up ending it right now. But yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting game number 6. Cougars winning 2 in a row. They got a little bit of momentum under their belts, and we'll see now if the Embers can end it.
And Dragon Ball's not having the 33-point output as last game, definitely being way more of an impact for this Cougar squad this time, and that's what you want to see from them. All of them over 400 points, as well as all the Embers players. Definitely a very competitive series at this point now, as both teams are really trying to find their chance to take the series, as Cougars have to claw their way back. Funny, them being the Cougars, having to claw their way back into every they've been in playoffs, but right now, they're doing it, and it seems to be almost their specialty.
Yeah, it's definitely something, these clutch scenarios, that they've been very good at. And we'll see if they can continue to be good at it here.
Now, starting Game 6. Dragon Ball's pass over to Serial, going to be up already. Looking very confident as Dragon Balls now, after those 2 wins. Going after that ball, just following up a touch as well, just really being a nuisance to the Embers defense now. But I look to see the Embers try to get that pressure they were getting earlier that caused a lot of problems for the Cougars. That's just going to be a straight shot, as 2 Cougars players going to have to go back for it and try to save that one. But Embers seem to be trying to get that offense started really quickly. As a great shot from Drax pops in from a pass from Chef. And this is the Ember squad we were looking at in the first few games.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful play on the wave dash as well from Drax to keep the speed up. Jumping a little early, says, I can go back down. And pops right back up. Got some very nice power on that shot, and the Embers have a lead here, and we'll see if they can hold it.
Deep clear, almost not saved. Drax, X expecting Drax to make the touch, had to dive at the last second. My goodness. A lot of close calls that are a little unnecessary. Might be because of the just needing to finish this game off, knowing that you have 1 game left to win before you take the entire series. And that can be a hard thing to have to think about while you're in a series like this, especially in the playoffs, is you know you're that 1 game away, and it almost, sometimes it just feels like something changes, or like something just isn't the way it was before when you were taking those games so well. And we almost seen it in the Pelican series against the Cougars. It just seemed like something was all of a sudden just off about what was going on, and the Cougars were taking complete advantage of it, as they are now. Dragon Balls with a great goal to tie this up 1-1 with 3:33.
It's a good move, but you feel like if you're X here, you have the time and a bit of a read on where he's going to go with it, and you can't make the move. And that's just unfortunate for the Embers, and now they find themselves tied.
Yeah, definitely with the ball being on the ground, you don't expect much of a flick coming out. Oh my, Drax with the air dribble again! The mechanics for the Embers just keeps showing levels to their play as they get another air dribble goal.
Drax shoulders might be getting a little sore here carrying a team this game. putting in both goals so far with some beautiful mechanics, and gonna need some more here out of the Cougars in terms of mechanics and also offensive pressure and shots. Saw a nice little dribble play already, but gonna need a little more than that to beat this Embers team in 2 more games.
Now Embers back on defense, but man, the pressure that the Cougars have been putting on lately has to be a little worrying for the Embers, and they definitely, I would say, want to take this game before going to 7, because once you get to 7, there's all bets are off. It doesn't even matter what happens in the series, because they won 3-0, you won 3-0. It's basically even. Well, it is even at that point, and especially when they have that momentum going, winning these games. And it's not like the Embers haven't been in these games either. They've had goals, they've kept it close in a couple of them. They even had an overtime chance. Oh my, Chef almost getting the cut around Dragon Balls, but Dragon Balls being patient on the line. A great defensive stop for them, but they need a goal more than anything right now.
They absolutely do, and their offense has been looking... that misread is a little tough. We'll see if the Embers can get some possession out of it. Chef with the carry. He's going to try and get it again. Oh, he does. It's beautiful, and he's still got control. This man's showing off the mechanics today, and it's looking fantastic. X trying to catch up with it. Can't quite get the shot on target. That's a good little play. It's still alive here for the Embers, too. X can't get it on net. Keyboard moment happening for the Embers, but they're still looking good. Drax can't quite push it through. The Cougars' offense not been their strong suit in the last minute or so. Embers putting on the pressure, trying to keep the ball out of their end as much as possible, because, well, I mean, you can't score if you're on the wrong half.
And Chef is a master at scoring for the Embers squad. A great pass from Drax to put it over. Gala thinking he had a chance to push up on a 50 coming, but instead Chef is above him, putting a goal in the net to give the Embers a 2-goal lead now with 1:36 left, Cubics, in Game 6. This is the Cougars on that reverse sweep run, but they're in a deficit that they've not exactly been able to get themselves out of before in this series.
Embers looking a little bit more like themselves in this game as well, playing much more cohesive as a unit. And we'll see if they can continue to play that. That maybe a little bit of a misplay by Chef in net. But he's able to get away with one there effectively. And the Cougars still looking for the offense. The Embers not necessarily looking for it, but are just finding it. And they're playing very well to keep possession here.
Now with 55 seconds left on the clock, Cougars are really going to need a goal pretty soon. You don't want to be waiting for that 0-second chance. It's so hard to get those 0-second goals, especially in a competitive environment like this. So they're definitely going to need to be getting on the offense. But Drax with a great read. And the Embers just winning these 50s, getting dunks, whatever they need to do to beat the Cougars, to not let them have the possession, not let them get out of their side and break out. And now Cyril's not going to be able to get the touch, and that's just going to be open for Drax as he's going to put in the 4th goal for the Embers in this Game 6, and it looks like this is going to be a Embers win, Cubics.
That's surely going to ice it, right? That's going to ice it, right? Right? Right?
I'm going to go ahead and cast a curse myself and say that cast or curse ain't happening this time, Cubics.
We'll see. Okay, yeah.
We saw.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
We saw.
I can confidently say they're not scoring 4 goals in 22 seconds on this Embers team. So
I had a little bit of flip confidence on that prediction there, but be proud of that one as the Embers looking very strong in this Game 6 now, and they finally being able to put the Cougars away, not letting the team that has been known for these reverse sweeps get their reverse sweep on them. Definitely a sigh of relief coming out of that Embers side now, as the time is ticking away. Not much the Cougars can do to bring themselves back in, but they had fought back and they didn't get swept. They almost were able to get back into the reverse sweep scenario, but in the end, the Embers are going to take this game, and that is all they wrote. Going to 6, winning 4-2. They are going to be moving on in single A playoff bracket.
They are. They got a good matchup next up against the Titans, trying to get their revenge for the 4-2 loss in the upper bracket. And if they lose, they'll have lost to the Titans both times, unfortunately. And then the Titans would have a rematch against the Ravens. And if not, the Embers making that lower bracket run, going to try and take down the Ravens as well. But Titans stand in their way first.
And once again, just great mechanics shown by the Embers as well. Like, one of the things that was very useful for them the whole series was just be able to put up the mechanics and a few air dribbles, a couple double taps, just really throwing the Cougars defense for a loop a lot of the time. And that's something to look out for, especially playing against this Embers team going on in the future if you're the Titans or Ravens, looking back at what has happened as they made their run.
Absolutely. And it's going to be interesting to see all of these loser bracket finals that we've had today and all the ones that'll happen with the other leagues that have played tonight, and up against some formidable opponents there. But that is indeed going to do it for us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Sorry for some of the audio issues that we've had with the game sound throughout the night, but hopefully we'll have that fixed next time around. And yeah, meme me all you want. That's basically all I will say on that. But thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we hope to see you on Thursday for some more fantastic RLPC action. And it's the last day before finals week, so next Tuesday, next Thursday, going to be a lot of winners decided. We'll see you then.